Hi, hello. Oh, I was just adjusting my camera. Oh dear. Is there anybody out there? Say hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right, I'll carry on with granny scares if there's nobody there. Well, there's people there, but nobody's saying hello. I don't know why. I've got chat on, I'm sure I've got chat. I have, Val. Hi, Esther. Well, the garden's suffering a bit, Esther. I've been neglecting it a little bit. Sad to say, I've not been doing my watering like I should have been doing. So maybe I'll catch up tomorrow. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Linda. Oh, dear. Just started another granny square. I've got another 14 to do. And I got to give them some more wool as well. Not that I'm complaining, but I think I'm going to be going on forever. I keep thinking, I want to make something for me. I don't need anything for me, but I just want to crochet something a bit different than a granny square. I'm just getting a little bit sick of granny squares. But you're all keeping me company tonight, so I can do granny squares while I'm chatting. I was actually sewing ends in at the knit club, the last 2 knit clubs I've been. Because as you know, with all those squares, there was a heck of a lot of ends. Sue phoned me today because it was her birthday yesterday and I'd sent her a happy birthday. She's doing fine. She says hello to everybody. So those of you who know Sue and asked me, have I seen her? Yes, I spoke to her today. And she'd been doing things in the garden, so she was a bit knackered. If I'm allowed to say the word knackered, but I think I am. I don't think that's considered to be a swear word, is it? You never know these days. Well, tomorrow it's Trans Sunday, but I'm not going. It looks like it might rain for a kick-off, and I'm not trundling all the way up the seafront on my scooter in the rain to get in everybody's way. Because as you know, my scooter's big. I can't take the folding scooter because the tram stops quite a distance from, obviously they shut the town centre off so that the floats and things can go through. So, last time it was Tram Sunday. It wasn't last year because they had to cancel it because of the high winds. It was 2 years ago when I went, so obviously I was living in Fleetwood then, so it wasn't so far for me to go. But now I'm down here in Cleveland. It's, well over a half an hour journey to get there. Plus, as I say, I'd have to take the big scooter. And 2 years ago, I didn't have the big scooter. I had a scooter, but it didn't have a top on it. So I kind of didn't get in everybody's way. Yeah. I remember it well because I got pulled because of copyright on the music. As the floats were going by, one of the floats was playing music which was recorded records, people that you knew. So I got flagged for that. As I say, it wasn't me that was playing the music. You can't help it when you go to a parade and music goes by. That's the second time I've been flagged. The first time I got flagged when I went to watch the gay parade in Manchester a few years back. And of course they had music there. And I got flagged for that. Do you know, they're on it like a bonnet, aren't they? Little bit of music playing in the background. Woof. I'm sure the people whose records are being briefly played for a few seconds are not that bothered about the royalty rights. It's not like anybody's playing the whole tune from start to finish, is it? Yeah. So what's everybody doing? I'm sure you're not doing granny squares like me. Yeah, I've been emptying the kitchen all day, which is why there's nothing in that white unit behind me and nothing on that shelf except the salt and the pepper. I was waiting to start painting, but I was waiting for sugar soap to come, which I'd ordered off Amazon. And of course, it didn't come until about 5 minutes ago. And even then, he didn't knock on the door, he just left it on the doorstep. Charming. And it's raining, so it could have been wet through, couldn't it? But I mean, luckily, nothing I'd ordered, you know. I ordered that, and I ordered some very, very naughty chocolate fudge drizzle to go on ice cream. I mean, I'd had an order from Asda this week for food because I didn't want to go out. I wanted to get stuck in cleaning and sorting, you know, ready for the painting on Thursday. And I was going to start by gloss painting the doors and cleaning the skirting boards if I can reach them. I have got a long handle scrubby thing though, so I can electric-y scrubby thing to scrub along the skirting board, or baseboards if you call them if you're in America, because they're very grubby. And I'm not painting over grubby, obviously. And I've got to clean the I keep pointing around. I've got to clean those tiles there because they're going to be white, yeah. So, you know me, hate brown, hate beige, hate brown. Wearing cream, of course, but it's not beige. Not in my eyes, it's not beige. Has everybody gone to sleep? There's nobody saying anything. Are you all nodding off? Are you watching the telly or what are you doing? What colour shall I have next? Well, seeing as you're not answering me, I'll decide on my own. I'll have blue. Doesn't go with turquoise really, but I'll go blue. I'm sure nobody minds. And he's keeping them the one, they won't care, will they? Ah, dear. So, well, nobody's telling me what they're doing. Oh, Linda's telling me what they're doing. I've got a cough and I've not even started painting yet. So I can't blame it on the paint. I mean, gloss paint does usually make me cough. But I've not even started yet. Oh, your cousin's talking to your messenger. Well, we'll let you off then, Linda. Linda was deciding whether to get some chips on the way home. And she didn't, which is very remiss of her, not getting chips. You know, what's the point of going out if you can't get some chips on the way home? It's part of the fun, isn't it? Getting a bag of chips on the way home. Oh, hi, Nathan. Hi, Nathan. Your dog sitting and watching. Oh, you watch it. Your dog sitting and your dog sitting Eric as well, you're right. But Eric's watching the football, how boring. Hi, Chris. My ex-husband would watch football even if he didn't know who was playing and he didn't understand the language that the commentator was talking because it was in German or something. But he would still watch it, yeah. Which used to irritate me no end because there'd usually something on the other side that I wanted to watch. And back in the day, we only had one telly. And we only had 3 channels or 4 channels, whatever it was. Yeah. Hi, Julie. Oh, you're painting as well tomorrow, Julie, right? I'm not painting. Well, I don't think I'm painting tomorrow. I'm probably prepping. I'm sugar soaping. I didn't think the wall was too bad until I was talking to Sue on the phone. And I looked at the wall and I could see a handprint somebody had left on the wall. I thought, yeah, that wants wiping down. I can't paint over somebody's handprint, can I? Well, I could, but it's not very, yeah. I've got a sort of long handle tizzy mop thing, yeah. You've got purple against your message because you're a #1 top fan. Apparently, the person who comments the most at the time, if you look at Linda, she's got comment she's got a white number 2 next to her. Chrissy's got a crown with a number 3, but you've got a crown number 1 because you're number 1 at the moment. No, it's next week, Chris, because it's Thursday they're coming. I've been stripping everything off. I've been emptying that cabinet there so it'll be easier to lift it, without all the stuff on it. So that's why it's looking a bit bare. And there's usually mats. Oh, God, which way? That way. There's usually mats on that shelf there, and they've gone. I've just left myself salt and pepper because I need to cook up to Thursday, don't I? So I've still got the microwave here and the kettle and things, but everything non-essentials got moved, yeah. Yeah, sugar soap's brilliant, isn't it, for getting all the gunge off things, yeah. The cat's been clawing the wallpaper. Well, yes. Put something there. People used to say to me when I had a cat, why have you put that bunch of flowers there, artificial flowers in a tub? It's a bit of an odd place to put flowers. I said, no, it keeps the cat away from the corner because the cat scratches the corner if I move the flowers. So I used to have a great big vase of flowers in a very unusual position just to stop the cat. You have to do these things when you have an animal. Oh, I've forgotten to take my painkillers. Why do they put them in such... You can't get in them. I've got a pill popper somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I've tidied everything up. Well, I haven't tidied everything up. I'm telling a lie. I've untidied everything because every room in the house has got stuff in it now. Oh, I'm not stripping anything off. I'm just wiping the wall down. I'm not stripping. I'm not getting that dedicated. I'm not taking the doors back to the woodwork. You can still put something in front of it. It's only a fire guard. It's amazing what you can find to put in front of corners to stop the cats. My cat ruined velvet curtains. He's clawed all the way down velvet curtains. Good sod. Oh, why do they taste so vile? Is it just to try to stop yourself overdosing? If they had them tasting nice, you might want to eat more, yeah? Ugh. Oh, gosh. That is revolting. Oh, dear. Oh, my goodness me. We don't have any money, but we do see life. I'm absolutely broke after paint expensive. It's not just the paint. I had to buy the rollers, the brushes, the whatnot, the turps, white spirit, whatever you want to call it. I had to buy polyfiller to fill the hole in that my son had left behind when he ripped a shelf off the wall. I think I spent about £80-90 altogether. Not cheap. Imagine how much it would have been if I'd have got a decorator. It'd have been more than I had in the bank. Oh, gosh. So there'll still only be one room done. I'll have to save up to do the rest. My bedroom will be the worst because there's no way I can move the wardrobes. No way in the world. I'll have to paint round them. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. If you want to know what I'm doing, I'm looking for a colour. Oh, I had my friend's son round today. Well, his dad came round to patch up the hole in the wall. And he cut some of the cardboard up for me and put it in the bin. But I've got a bin full and I still got a garage full of cardboard. You would not believe... Did you see that picture of how much cardboard I got? That was one day for paint. Every paint was in a box and every box of paint was in another box. So I had somebody said to me, how long did it take you to accumulate all that cardboard? I said, 1 day. Because that's when it come, and I've lost my phone. Where's my phone? You have to excuse me a minute, I've lost my phone. Well, I haven't lost it, I've left it somewhere. And if it rings and I don't know where it is, just one moment, I'll be back. I'll be back, like Arnie, I'll be back. Oh. Where have you put your phone, John? It was in the bedroom. It was in my bedroom. I was all ready to do me live, and then I looked down at the top I was wearing, not this one, and it had a big splodge down it. So I had to go and change my top rather hurriedly. And that is why I left my phone behind, because I did it all. Oh, and then I found out that Amazon had been and left it at the front door. So there is a reason. Delivered. Tell us why we did. No, I won't, because you left it at my front door and you didn't ring the doorbell. So I will not tell you how you did. I will say you did not do very well. Right, I'm trying to find that cardboard. All that cardboard there came with the paint. Great. You wouldn't have thought, this. Did I ever get my new project put together? No, I haven't got the grow house put together. It's still in a box and still. I mean, my friend's husband came today, but they were in a rush and I didn't like to ask him to do that as well. I thought I was pushing it a bit. So it'll have to stay until either I try to get around to it or somebody. It's a cardigan, actually, but I've had to just hurriedly put it on so you can kind of see through it. I hope you're not looking. You can see my underwear. Normally I wear it with a cami underneath, but it was rather a rush job just getting changed just about 2 minutes before I came on here. I looked down and I saw this great big splodge down. I thought, what have I been eating? Anyway, I've got it off. I put it under cold tap and got the stain off it because it was crochet. It was cream and it was crochet. So, oh, dearie me. So, I can't be trusted with anything that's food-wise. It always finishes up down the chest somewhere. Hey. Oh, I've got to change my alarm. I set my alarm for very early for Sunday because last week I had to go to see the doctor. So I set my alarm for early. So there is no way I am getting up that early. Done. So now it should be. Yeah. Not getting up till 9, I've decided. Sunday I have a lie-in till 9. I'd usually wake up before, actually, but how many trees? I don't know. A lot of trees, I think. And they keep saying they're going to cut down on waste. Man, I admitted the things that have come today have actually come in bags, but they're still brown paper, aren't they? I've got a bin full. I feel like creeping round at dead of night, seeing who's put the blue bin out, see if they've got any room. But I've got massive big pieces of cardboard, huge stunking cardboard in the garage. If I cut it up next time, they only empty it once a month. It's ridiculous, really. You know, you feel like cutting your name off, and every time I go out on my scooter, shoving a little bit in a bin somewhere. Oh, never-ending saga of cardboard. It gains on me. It multiplies in the garage. It's breeding in there. Yeah, I've got about 5 great big boxes in the garage. I mean, I paid to have it all removed. You know, not long back, if you remember. But somebody said put it on free cycle, but it's not big enough for anybody who's removing. Yeah, 2 of them are. But it's not really big enough for anybody who's removing. Nobody. They never rang mine. Knock and run is better than not knocking at all. No, I usually see the Amazon driving away, but he does usually ring the bell before he puts it on the step. But this one, I mean, I was here, so I mean, the door's only there, so I would have heard him if he'd have knocked. But me ring doorbell's got a sort of delay on it. It tinkles when everybody's walked away. I did hear it sort of tinkle, but I thought it was next door. Gone are the days when they actually wait for you to answer it. The other day, I had luckily it was a soft package, and I was sat here and it went hurtling over the fence into the backyard. I thought, what was that? And I went out and my package was in the middle of their backyard. Yeah, the boxes multiplied. They did. I swear to goodness they did multiply. Oh, goodness me, I need a wee now. I'll never get settled, will I? Will you talk amongst yourselves a minute? Why didn't I go for one before I started? I know, because I was changing my top. I usually go for one before I leave, yeah. Oh, dear me. Mission accomplished. I'm sure you didn't need to know that, did you? Oh, dear. Yeah, but they don't take any notice, Chris, if you ask for a doorbell ring. I've put much and more on it. Is there any sort of special delivery things? And I've put on, I have mobility issues. Will you please wait for me to answer the door? No, ring and dash. Or if they, they don't usually even ring. Or not, because they usually just ring. I mean, normally, my doorbell rings, the doorbell camera rings, tinkles, and I know somebody's there. But they don't ring. Oh, now I've wheeled over my bag of wool. I'm not doing very well tonight, am I? Oh, forgetting this, forgetting that. Forget my head if it were loose. And now I want to blow my nose and I haven't got a tissue. Oh, gosh. I've got some kitchen roll behind me. That'll have to do. I've moved everything, so the tissues have vanished. Oh, God, you see more in the back of me than you see in the front, don't you? Oh, it'll have to be spratty kitchen roll. Oh. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had the very shiny nose. Drop the pink ball now. Oh, for goodness sake. Shall I stop and start again? I'm not doing very well tonight, am I? First I lose my phone, then I need the loo, then I drop my wool. Well, that's 3, isn't it? 3 in a row. Should be all right now for the rest of the evening. Should be, but we won't guarantee it, will we? Well, at least I'm not listening to Oasis, am I? Where I used to live before, below my neck. You couldn't get away from it. Sound check, 1, 2, 3. Sitting in your garden going, I'm not that fond of Oasis, to be quite truthful. And drunken kids all wandering round, and oh, Lord above. It was lovely. My niece is very glad to have moved because she was right next door to it. She was nearer than me. She could practically touch Oasis from where she was living before. Now it was in the paper, there was one poor lady. She booked the tickets, paid for them months and months ago, then discovered she was expecting. And it was her due day, the day that it was Oasis. So she thought, I'll be fine. No, before Oasis started playing, she went into labour. And she had to have a baby in a completely different hospital because she came from home. So she finished up having it in the hospital around the corner. So she never got to hear or see Oasis. There was a little girl, so somebody said they should call it Sally or something. She said they haven't decided. In other words, no. Ah. Fee, fi, fo, fum, I spun the blunt of an Englishman. Hey, so what's everybody doing? Come on, you must be more interested than I am, sat here crocheting a blinking square. Tell me you're having an exciting weekend. Tell me you've got something wonderful planned. I said to Sue, have you got something wonderful planned for your birthday? She went, well, no, not really. I said, have you got a birthday cake? She went, no. Oh. Half an hour in. Last week when I left early, I was so tired. I walked into the bedroom and just absolutely just fell asleep. But then I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was wide awake after that. I just could not keep my eyes open last week. I just couldn't have stayed a minute longer. I only walked in the bedroom and just collapsed on the bed and went to sleep. I don't even remember getting in bed. Yeah, it says something about any special instructions, it says, Chris. Oh. Back to the local bingo. Bingo, bingo, and I oh. Amigurumi pattern for Santa Claus. You're getting ready, are you? You're not doing Christmas in July, are you, and all that rubbish? Mind you, with some people, I suppose Christmas in July, it takes them that long to make anything. Some people are very slow crochets. I start thinking about making things for Christmas in November because I'm very slow. I don't think about things before then. Yeah, it's on delivery instructions. It tells you. They don't take any notice, Chris, I'll tell you that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've wrote it on mine. I'm disabled. Please give me time to answer the door, but no, they don't listen. Well, you can't win every time, Linda. Somebody's got to pay for everybody else to win. Oh, they don't deliver. Mind you, a lot of the things I order from Amazon don't come by Amazon. A lot of them come by the post office. If you order something small, like a pattern or something, pattern book, that usually comes Royal Mail. They must decide they're not bothering to come and deliver like a pattern book. Well, I've nearly done a square, which is a bit better. I was so tired last week, I actually only made 3 squares because I was so knackered. I shouldn't be so tired. I got my friend's son to water the tomatoes, so I don't have to do that tonight. And it's rained on the rest of all the other stuff. People keep saying, oh, you need to water your plants even when it's rained because the leaves and that absorb the water. And I'm like, nothing in my garden has grown. You can still see soil, so the soil is sopping wet. So no, I don't need to water them even when it's rained. I water the tomatoes because they're undercover kind of thing. What time did I finish last week? Oh gosh, it was about 11:30. I think I was so tired. I could not stay awake. I was just literally, I could feel myself just going. And I thought, I'm going to go to sleep on live, I'm going to fall asleep. Yeah, I switched the computer off, walked into the bedroom and just went to sleep. But then again, I woke up at 3:00 and couldn't get to sleep. I think I just nodded off again when it was time to get up because I had a doctor's appointment, so I had to get up. The seagulls are squawking out there. The other day I got up, I think I mentioned it before, it was about 3:45 in the morning. And the seagulls were rah, rah, rah. And I thought, blooming heck, don't you get to sleep? Don't you get in your nest and kip for a bit? I'll tell you, one of them sits on my garage. I don't think it's got a nest up there. I think it's just sitting on the garage. Hey ho. Oh, stop it, Janet. Stop it. I've got coffee, so I should have been waiting up, shouldn't I? And I think I slept last night. Well, I slept most of last night. I never get a full night's sleep. I either go to bed so late that, I'm only getting about 5 or 6 hours even if I sleep right through to the alarm. But usually I fall asleep in a chair, waking up, go to bed, and then I can't go to sleep. Maybe I should stay in the chair. The potatoes were, I don't know why I expected them to taste like new potatoes, because they came from old potatoes, didn't they, So why I expected them to taste like Jersey Royals, I don't know. They were all right. They were just like potatoes. Didn't have much flavour, let's just say. But I was surprised I got how many. They were growing like mad and the leaves were growing up. And, I'd only planted them in one of them plastic containers. And then all of a sudden the leaves just died. And they all went yellow and funny and they died. And I thought, oh, there won't be anything there. So I thought I'll pull them up and put them in the bin. I was surprised how many potatoes were in there. I mean, some of them were teeny weeny little things. But I was still surprised how many there was. Especially when, they weren't planted in much soil, really. That's probably why they didn't grow. But I think they got drowned, with that torrential rain. Poor little things. Yeah, I made a baked knot pot with some of them yesterday. What's making it up? Oh, today. I was in the house and next door was washing his car. And reboot if I'm frozen. He was washing his car next door this afternoon. And then this funny noise kept happening. And I thought, oh, something wrong with his jet wash, I thought. And I kept hearing him carrying on. I thought, it's making a weird noise. And then I decided, no, it's in my house. What is it? And this was this zzz. Then it would stop for a bit. Then it goes zzz. So I'm thinking, what on earth? So I'm wandering around there. And it was, my friend had decided I needed a water feature. So she'd bought me this round thing that you put in water and stuff, and it's solar. Well, when I was looking for something, I must have turned it over, and this solar panel must have been in the sun. And it was trying to, shoot water up, so it was going the zzz, zzz. God, it frightened the living daylights out, and I couldn't work out what it was. So I need to make the water feature, don't I, obviously. I haven't got a nice plant pot, though. You're supposed to put it in like a pot, put some stones in it and stuff like that, and then, put this feature on it and whatnot, yeah. Oh, thank you. Somebody who said she likes the elephant. I'd put a picture of my memories. About 3 years ago, I'd gone to a beautiful garden centre, very, very expensive garden centre, didn't buy anything. And they had these fantastic garden ornaments, and I mean, not little, they would have filled half the kitchen. And there was a massive, great, I think it was an elephant or a lion or something. And I thought, oh, brilliant, 1,500. Yeah, I brought it home with me. Of course I did. I thought, you'd have to have it under lock and key, wouldn't you? Otherwise somebody might nick it. Well, it looked pretty heavy, so probably not. Yeah. This is one of Terry's balls. Don't ask me what she does with them, but she doesn't wind them very well. You're back, are you, Val? I need to rewind this ball before I can use it. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. La-la-la. I should do them on my ball winder, but I'm too idle. Man, I can't find it now. It's that full up in my spare bedroom. All the kitchen stuff's landed up in there. That's the trouble in here. There's no storage whatsoever. You know, that cupboard where you put your brushes in and stuff. Anyway, my friend sorted out the camera, did I say? She's found out where it goes when it tells me that there's a problem and I need to back everything up. I don't. It's still storing it into the computer, which she found out for me today. She said, there's your video. I'm like, there's my video. So she found it. The video I thought I'd lost and I couldn't upload. I'm not uploading it now because like it's the one I did when I did another 5 afterwards. So it's kind of old hat. So I'm not doing that one again. So I'm glad it means I don't have to sit in front of, this camera. Because that was the only way I could do. I couldn't, go into the garden or go into the garage or anywhere. Couldn't go anywhere. But now I can. Well, I can when I charge the camera. Ay. Granny Square number 2. Another 11 to go. Say it quick, say it sharp, but it won't sound too many. I just hope I can do 7 and then I can put another row on the lap blanket. I've got a feeling it's never going to get to the old folks' place because everybody's like, oh, like that. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? So I've got a feeling. And the lady who's blind has asked me to make her a virus show because she goes dancing. So she says, it's a dark colour. I said, oh, go on. So that's what I probably will be making next week. I'll probably be doing her a virus show. Still, I mean, she can't do it herself, obviously. She does manage to knit. And she can sort of crochet granny stitch, I think. But she couldn't do a shawl or anything. She'd go wrong, so. And she's given me piles and piles of oddments of wool. I think I told you the other week. She's knitting little hats for the premature babies. So, if any of the other girls had asked me, I probably wouldn't have done it, but. She says, I'll pay. I said, no, you're not. So to anybody else, but not Terry. One or two of the others are really cheeky, Will you make me a cardigan like that? Oh, yeah, I'm full of ideas like that. And it's never one of the easy cardigans, it's always one of the more complex ones that takes you forever to do. And they'll go, what like that? I'd like one of them. I'll make one then. I keep hearing weird noises. Decided it, sir. You want XXL? I presume you want it in thin merino, yeah? That's what everybody usually wants. I'm a bit fluffy, fluffy. No love you fat. Sorry. Fluffy went out the window ages ago. Oh, pure silk you want? Yeah, okay. Have you got a second mortgage then, Nathan? Oh, I remember trying to crochet that silk. What a disaster that was. A one weight yarn. Yeah. I'm full of ideas like that, Chris. Which century would you like it finishing in? A £50 budget. You wouldn't even get a Poundland special for a £50 budget, Nathan. Yeah, people think wool grows on a tree, don't they? When I used to go to the other knit club, well, the cheeky knit club, she said to me, well, you've got a garage full of wool. She said, you could use some of that. I said, well, it didn't fly here for free. I said, I had to buy it. You know, like I'd inherited it or something. It just magically appeared into my shed. Or the number of people who used to say, I stopped putting things on Ravelry, because the number of people who said, will you do me a copy of that pattern? And I'm like, no, it's copyright. And they go, well, I can't afford one. I said, well, I couldn't afford it either, but I wanted it, so I found enough money to buy it. I said, if you want it, you'll buy it. Don't be like that. I'm sorry, but, you know, I can't afford patterns, but if I want them, I buy them, yeah. You work your way around it, you cut your corner some other wear, and you buy a pattern. And if you don't want to buy it, then look for a free one. There's plenty of free ones knocking about. You know, you've got a choice of loads. If you join Ravelry, you can have loads of free patterns. You go on YouTube, loads of free patterns. But if you want one of the ones I've bought, a designer one, some of them I paid £10 for a pattern. Didn't want to, but I did. And then somebody says, can I have a copy? And you're like, no. No, you can't. Go buy your own. Yeah. Yeah, you should buy them the wool, buy them a hook and say, there you are, that's what you get for your 50 quid. The wool and the hook. The pattern you'll have to buy. Like I did. I mean, when people ask you to do things, you can't exactly put the price of the pattern on to what you paid for the wool and everything else, yeah? Hi, Enid. But if you're making something for somebody and the pattern's cost £10, you're on a loss anyway, aren't you, before you start? Because you may not use that pattern again. So you can't say it's so much for the wool, so much for me time, and so much for the pattern. You know, what? I thought you made your own patterns. Oh, well, I do 90% of the time, but you wanted that particular pattern. So I couldn't copy it, so I needed the pattern. Oh, it's fun. I don't want to get down that road again. I never want to do that. Never want to take orders anymore. Puts you on too much of a deadline. People want, can I have it next week? Can I have it? Oh, no. I'm not sitting up day and night doing it for next week, no. Those days are gone. I used to do it when I lived on my own and I was more desperate for the money. But we live and learn. Well, I don't in my case. I never learn. That's my trouble. Oh, I want to go to live again. What have I been drinking? Whatever it is, it's going right through. I know I've been drinking a lot because it's been hot. But I shall have to go again. Talk amongst yourselves. What's wrong with me today? Everything's going wrong. That's not very pretty colours, is it? Ick. Everybody loves pastels except me. They go, oh, lovely pastel colours. Oh, they're horrible. Oh, oh, oh. Light on. Oh, I hope that's the last time. What have I been drinking or eating? Don't know. Whatever it was, I don't want it again. Oh. Hey. I wouldn't mind, but I keep washing my hands and I've put hand cream on. And now my hands are all dry again. Hand cream again. La, 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 la. I've got to measure my windows. Ready for the curtains. I'm taking them awful blinds down. Can't stand. I'm sorry if you've got vertical blinds and you love them. Well, what colour shall I have next? Green, I think. These last few squares are getting a bit samey because I've got all the same colours left over. So they're all tending to be pastels. Never mind. I'm sure nobody will bother. I've sewn all the others together so I can't mix and match them. You know, I can't put the darker ones in with these paler ones. Because I've sewn them in. Well, crocheted them in. Hey. Oh gosh. Have I got any more messages? Messages. No, my friends in the garden listening to Oasis. Lizzie sent me something, but I can't look at it now. I'll look at it later. 3 people have sent me messages. Oh, how nice. I shall look at them later. I shall look at them later. Answer that message, then I shall. Well, I would if I could. My phone doesn't like doing spaces. So it goes, it's all in one word, yeah. Answer the message. Right, we're back on the stitching. La 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 la. Gosh, I'm on carols now. La 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 la. Yeah. Now my friend's husband came to plaster up that mess on the wall, so I'll have to sandpaper it over now it's dried because it's a bit lumpy. But at least it's not a hole, is it? So I'll wait while it dries. I wanted it to be dried for Thursday, yeah. I didn't want my niece to be painted around the hole. But I'd still have to fill the hole in later. Could have crammed my son. You don't want that shelf, do you? Before I could answer him, leave it there. It went. You're going to have a shower, right? Okay. We shan't be watching. You're all right. We won't look. We'll close our eyes. We shall not be on video cam. Well, at least everybody's with their own partners, aren't they? Not like that couple at Coldplay. They were well and truly caught out, weren't they? Oh dear. Imagine going to a concert with somebody else's wife. I wonder what he'd told the wife where he was. Oops. Caught on kiss cam. Oops. Well, you know, they always think they won't get caught, don't they? Like 90% of the time, people who have affairs do get caught, so only a matter of time. I remember when we were courting, we went on holiday and we'd booked 2 separate rooms, you know, because you did in those days, you know, you didn't go on holiday together. And, we walked into the hotel and Alan's next door neighbours were there in the hotel. So it's a good job we did book 2 separate rooms, otherwise it would have got back to his parents quicker than we could have done. But luckily we were very circumspect. We were in 2 different rooms. What a good job. Yeah, we haven't been going out together long. We decided to go on holiday together. So there was no way I was sharing a room. We didn't in those days. We were very circumspect. Hmm. No, if you've got one for restless legs, let me know, because my legs do the St. Vitus dance every night. Itchy, itchy. I've put cream on them. I've done all sorts with them. Moved them about. Put them on my recliner. Put them up. Put them down. And I get oh. I don't know whether I'd rather have the cramp or the itchy, restless legs. I think I'll look in the other bag. I'm getting fed up with what's in that bag. Let's have a look if there's any different colours in this other bag. Oh, there is. There's some different colours in here. We'll have a blue. Or shall we have a pink? No, we'll have a blue. Opiates, yeah, I don't have them. I've got painkillers, but they don't seem to do much. Cold seems to help, hanging your legs out of bed and getting them cold. But then you need to put them back in because you get freezing, don't you? But that's the only thing that seems to stop my restless legs. They itch and move about every night. I hate it. I'm like moving them around the bed trying to find a cold spot. Otherwise, I have to hang them out of the bed. And then if I don't watch what I'm doing, I follow them. Fall out of bed completely. Oh, yeah, if I stay up late. It starts off mostly when I'm in my recliner. I don't know whether it's the position my legs are in when they're on the recliner that makes them itch more. They're not as bad as when I first had my spinal operation. Oh, they were awful. They were like ants crawling up and down my legs. They were awful, awful. And they kept telling me it's your nerves, after you've had your spinal op, the nerves have been disturbed. So that's what makes them. And it was just like an army of ants moving up and down. But if I'm on morphine, when you've had an operation at first and they put you on morphine, everything itches. I can't do with morphine. I itch everywhere. Oh, the dog's gone home now. On its own. Did it walk off on its own? Yeah, I don't know what there is about me and morphine, but my skin, I could crawl it, scrape it off. Itch, itch, itch. So I always say you can't give me morphine. I'm not allergic to it or anything, but it's the side effects I get. They gave me morphine patches once when I was having a really bad flare-up with my back. Oh, what? I was, itch, itch. We're all funny, aren't we? We're all funny. Still, at least I'm still here. Yeah, a lot of people my age aren't, are they? So just count your lucky stars. You're still here. Yeah, tomorrow I'm afraid it's going to be cleaning this kitchen ready for painting. Not looking forward to it, but has to be done because I go out on a Monday. I could do it Tuesday, I suppose, but so it's either tomorrow or Tuesday when I get to clean it. Because I go out Monday and I go out Wednesday. You've just finished your shower. Did you have a shower with Enid? Because she's just had one as well, me. Yeah. Oh, pickle juice. Oh, no. Oh, no, I think I'd try the magnesium, not the... I don't like pickle juice. It's like vinegar, isn't it? No. I don't have any pickles. I only have mustard pickles, yeah. I don't have any pickles, you know, like you buy them in a jar. Pickles, yeah, I don't have any. I used to like silver skin onions, and the tiny, tiny little onions that come in like white vinegar. Yeah, Mimi's just had a shower, so Edie's gone for one. I think, are you sharing the same shower? Are you shower with a friend? There used to be a slogan when we had a drought of, oh God, how many years ago? Probably 30 years ago or something. And you could only have a few inches of water in your bath. They used to say, save water, shower with a friend, it used to say. People used to have bumper stickers, fender stickers if you're in America. I remember that. We went on holiday. And the hotel we were at had a black line painted around the bath. I often wonder how they managed to get the line off when they finished. To show you how much water you could have. I think it was about 4 inches or something. You ever tried having a bath in 4 inches? So we decided, me and my ex, being as, well, it wasn't my ex then, being as, you know, we weren't dirty, we decided to have 18 inches, be a rebel, but share the bath, because we had like 4 inches each, didn't we? So we were rebels. A jacuzzi, oh God, we had a hot tub. Did that run away with the electric or what? Keeping that thing, because you have to keep it running. You have to keep the thing running all the time, otherwise you know it takes too long to warm it up. No, if I had a hot tub, it'd have to be one of those, like a barrel. There's just enough room for you to get in it. I actually saw one of them in IKEA. It was just like a little barrel, just about room for you to sit in it. No, the one we had, it was like for 4 people, or you could have put 6 in it at a pinch. It was a big thing. But did that run away with the money? You know, to keep it heated up? Oh no, the wrong we. Well, maybe they shared. Maybe they had 8 inches and shared, yeah. Oh, that sounded a bit bad, didn't it? 8 inches of water, I meant. Not anything else. I once bought a mat that was supposed to be like a jacuzzi that you put in the bottom of the bath, but it was supposed to bubble up, you know. It didn't work. All it did was make your bath water go cold. Because it was like air going up into your bath water, so you finished up with it freezing cold after about 10 minutes. So I soon got rid of that. I can't help the commercial. Sorry about that, Mimi. YouTube just puts them on. A bathing suit cover up, yeah. Just put our Trixie in the bath. She's a little fart machine on her own. Oh gosh. Don't ever get a French bulldog. Clear a room in 5 seconds. I've had some dogs which have had wind before, but oh God. French bulldogs, dear me. They're the kings and queens of wind. The granny squares, well, I've only done one. I've done the whole caboodle. I'll have to go again. get them because they're in the front room. Oh. If you bear with me, I shall bring it in. I'm going to go again, people, but this time I'm not going to the loo. I'm going to get the granny squares. Oh, do. Oh, every picture tells a story. Oh. Oh la 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 dee da. Oh la la dee da da. Right, this is what I've done so far. I've still got some ends on the back to sew in, but I've been sewing a lot of the ends in. This is what I'm up to so far. There we go, the bottom one hasn't been stitched in properly. I need another 2 rows. So, as you can see, I've been sewing ends in, but I've still got a few squares to do. But I was sewing ends in while I was at the library and while I was at knit club. Sewing ends in. So, you can do it when you're talking. You don't seem to notice it as much. I used to always put something really good on the telly. Not that you can find anything really good on the telly. They keep promising all these new things that are starting, but none of them started yet. Yeah, this is my second one. I need 7 for a rose. So I need another 14 to finish it off. Then I've got to sew the rest of the ends in and go all the way around it. Yeah. And after I finished it, I'll be going, yeah. But I've been given I could have shown you, couldn't I? I've been given another load of wool. Excuse me, I should be back again. How many times am I disappearing tonight? Here I go again. Oh. A lady came into the knit club and she said she was clearing her mother's or her mother-in-law's house out. And she brought this wool in for the knit club. And it was Aran, so none of them wanted it. So I said, oh, I'll make a blanket. Only a little one. There was 2 green. And the green also came with one of those, which has got green in it. And it's also got lilac in it. So it came with the purple. And it came with the beige. So I presume whoever was making it was going to be coordinating the colours into something or other. Anyway, I'm going to do like a big granny square, going round and round and round and round and round, not little granny squares, until the wool runs out, basically. And then see how far I go. It's Aran, you see, I think that's why nobody wanted it, because you can't make baby hats or anything. And also that's too dark for, those lady who's blind. So she got given it. It's too dark for her. It's so crafty. I think it's oldie, isn't it? That one's not a full ball, and one of the green ones not a full ball. She must have been making something, I think, because there's a part ball of this green as well. There's a little ball of that, a little bit. But this is majestic, Aaron. This which is rather pretty. I don't know where that comes from, majestic, Aaron. It just says mixed fibres, but the rest of it is all oldies. Aran yarn, what does it say? I think it's all acrylic by the look of it. or the feel of it, I should say. They always have titchy little writing, don't they? Titchy witchy writing. Yeah, I thought I was just doing rounds of different colour until I run out. Because the green I've got 2 of, so I'll use the green to do the edging and the border. Why can I not see it? Little switchy writing. I can't see beige on, no, grey on green. What's it made of? Yeah, it's 100% acrylic. 300 metres approximately. Wash dark colours separately. Well, that'd be a bit awkward because I'm putting them all together. Never mind. Won't be my problem, will it? It runs together. So that's what I'll be doing next. I'll be doing a great big granny square using those colours. Yeah, anything they don't want, they give me. As I say, that. Well, no, the next thing I could be doing would be that virus shawl for the blind lady. She goes dancing apparently, and she wanted a shawl to put over her shoulders. Bigger the better. So I think she's giving me 400 grams, so that should make quite a big one. I presume she's giving me double it, I don't know. We shall see next Wednesday. Well, this Wednesday coming, won't it? That will be my next task in hand. I hope I can finish this. I doubt it though, because I've got a lot of cleaning and painting to do this week. So I don't think this granny squares will be finished by then. Maybe another row. That'll just leave me 7 to do, so it won't be so bad. Broken its back, haven't I? Broken the back. Yeah, they're nice colours. I love the purple, of course. You know, me and purple. But I like that green and purple together. Green, purple and whatever. Green, purple and something. That majestic. That's really pretty. As I say, we don't know what the lady was making or had been making because she'd passed away. So I inherited it. I inherit everybody's bits and pieces. As if I haven't got enough of my own. I've only used about 2 balls out of my own stash. Oh no, I've used 4 balls out of my own stash. 2 pale green and a pale grey and a dark grey. I've used that out of my stash. But the rest of it has all been mostly what's been given to me. At least they'll be made use of, won't they? It's not like going to waste, is it? As my mum used to say, well, it doesn't eat anything. When I'd bought something and I'd used to say, well, I'm not using it right now, she'd go, well, it's not eating anything. It's all right. But it's when your stash overtakes you, you know, when you know, what's it called, sable, when you've got more stash than you'll ever use in a lifetime. I think I've got to that stage now. That's why you don't see me buying anything. Because I daren't, you know, I've got enough. If I sat solidly and crocheted my way through the garage, I think I'd have to live to be 100. But the trouble is I can't part with any of it. I love it all. You know, when you look at it, was it Marie Kondo or something that said, if you hold something in your hand and you don't love it, you should get rid of it. It doesn't work with me with wool. I look at it and think that'll make a lovely cardigan, or that'll make a nice this, that, and the other, yeah. I'm a hopeless case, I admit it. But there are people with more stash than me. You would be. I used to have more stash. I used to have 2 bedrooms and a garage full when I lived on my own in Prestwich. That was ridiculous. It was slightly ridiculous. Ridiculous. But me and Sue had this passion for ice yarn, and every time we saw something, it was like, oh, and we were like leading each other on, you know. She'll say, oh no, we shouldn't get any. And then she said, are you making up an order? We could go shares on the postage, couldn't we? You know, we used to work it out like that. We were as bad as each other. We used to encourage each other when we shouldn't have been. We should have been saying no. You didn't win the lottery? No, I probably haven't either. I won a lucky dip last week, but obviously I didn't win anything. You know, I'm not that lucky. They should be called unlucky dips because they never win me anything. I shall have a cream middle this time. You didn't win the lottery. No, I don't look. I like to look Sunday morning. I like to think Saturday night I might have won. So I don't check until Sunday. And then I've got some, disappointment. But I like to live in hope on the Saturday night, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm going to use those colours I've just shown, Sandra. I'm going to use that for one large rectangle. I'm not doing little granny squares with them. It shouldn't take long anyway because it's iron. It should be on quite a biggish hook. I mean, I'm on a 4mm for this granny squares, but I'll probably do a 5 or a 550 for the iron. Hi, Ethan. Then I'm going back to the shawls for a while. Well, I'm definitely going back to one virus shawl for my friend. And then I'm going to go back onto granny square, not granny squares, shawls. The popular one seemed to be that one by Crochet Objet. You know, the one that starts off with a long length and it goes like a shoulder shawl. They stay on your shoulders really brilliantly. Did you ever make one, Val? You know, one of the granny stitch ones. They're brilliant. They do. I've made 3 so far. No, I made 1, 3, 5 I've made, but I've only got 1. 2 I sent off to the nursing home, and the other 2 got snaffled off. But I must make some more. I just like the shape of them. The trouble is they take more wool because, the rows are longer. So they do take more. You need bigger pieces. You can't use little scruffy bits. You need a fairly big size of ball like that, to get across a row. I wear mine all the time, I probably wear it even more in the winter. When if we get our heating allowance back, thank you very much. Rachel Reeves, was it? Rachel Thieves. But we should be getting it back. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm not doing bad with my thumbs up. I've got 22 and there's 29 people in the room, so I'm not doing too bad, am I? Just that 7 people haven't thumbs up. You know who you are. Yeah, they stay on, you see. They don't fall off the same. I should have done one for my blind lady with her dancing, shouldn't I? But she's going to give me the wool. She wants a single colour. I don't think they'd work the same in a single colour. They wouldn't look as nice. But she does like bright colours, so you never know. I might do one for her. But the trouble is, if I do one for her, then, the people in the knit group might want one as well. I don't want to be going all around the knit club doing shawls for everybody. It's kind of rather a lot. Yeah. Keeps me out of mischief, so people say, but I would love to get into some mischief. It's been so long since I got in any mischief. I've forgotten what you would do if you got in any mischief. Paint walls. Draw flowers on the wall. I'm not very artistic. I wish I was. You know, I'd love to jazz things up, you know, like them white Billy bookcases in the lounge. I'd like to jazz them up, you know, with some flowers crawling up them or something, but I'm not very artistic. A half hexagon. Oh, I guess there's heat read. I must have looked that up then. I'm kind of looking for things that are easy but don't bore me rigid, you know, because I'm doing them to give away, so I don't like doing anything too complex, you know, to have to really, really think about. I mean, I love the blue curacao shawl by Doris Chan. It's in one of her books, but it's a little bit complicated, you know, to just do to give away. I mean, I've done them for people. I've done quite a lot of them. And it's the one shawl I never kept for myself, and I wish I had. It's a beautiful pattern. The trouble is, it's not a single pattern. You have to buy the book, and the book's out of print, I think, now, because Doris Chan stopped doing designing, which is a shame. But she's older than me, I think. She's probably given up now. She's probably hung a hook up, if you ever do that thing, such a thing. Well, hung a designing hook up. She's into amateur dramatics now. I still follow her on Facebook, because it was her birthday the other day, so I did wish her happy birthday. Oh, she's given me loads and loads of bits of wool, yeah, so that's why I'm doing her the shawl. She's offered to pay, but I won't take anything from her. As I said, anybody else I would, but not her. Because she's kept me in bits of wool for the last few weeks. She keeps giving me all these. She gave me a pile on Wednesday again. She gave me about 6 balls. Only small balls, but I mean, you know, all uses up. All in a good cause, as they say. I'm just getting itchy to make a garment of some sort, but I don't need anything, that's the trouble. I did buy some pink wool, though, to make myself a sweater. Because I've got 2 pairs of, like, flimsy trousers that have got pink flowers on them, and I haven't got a top that matches. So I found a pattern. It's a short sleeve pattern, I think, but I can make it long sleeved. You know me, I don't like short sleeves. I don't like these sleeves. I had to do them this length because I ran out of wool. I only had a little bit of wool. But they annoy me. They don't today because I'm not cold. But if that part of my hand is cold, I am freezing. But I've actually been wearing some of my short sleeved crochet tops, which have never seen the light of day for about 4 years. That's what I had on earlier on, the one I splodged. It was a beautiful pattern and all. But I splodged all down the front of it, so it's in the washing machine at the minute. It's not being washed, it's just in the washing machine. I put it in there so I'd know where it was and I wouldn't forget to wash it. And I thought, if I wear it tonight, I knew somebody was going to ask me the pattern of that, because it is a pattern. I can't remember. I've still got the pattern somewhere. So before I wear it, I need to find the pattern, because somebody is going to say, have you got the pattern for that? That's in a book, I think. I think it was either a Hayfield or a Serdar book. But if you're a knitter and you like vintage type patterns, you should look at the Serdar Heritage, I think it's called. It's on their webpage. And it's all of the patterns, you know, from 50s, 60s, 70s. They charge about £3 for a PDF, I think. So even if you're in America, you can still order them because they're PDFs. They're mostly knitting patterns. There are a few crochet, but they're mostly knitted. But I found quite a few lovely patterns. And of course, there's a good old Etsy. You can find anything you like on Etsy, can't you? The reading shawl is double crochets and chains. That's a treble and a chain to me. That's one reason why I never tell you how I do my patterns, because I use English terms. I'm like Sheila, really. Sheila uses English terms. It's difficult when you've learnt to crochet that way to suddenly start calling a treble a double crochet. It goes against the grain. And also, I can only ever do a pattern in my size. I couldn't scale it up or down. You know, patterns I've made, a lot of the vintage patterns only go to smaller sizes, and I've had to adapt. And then I get people saying, can you tell me how to do a 5X? And I'm like, well, no, because I don't know. You know, all I can do is my size. Because I just measure as I'm going along, you know. It comes from the way I learned to crochet. I learned to crochet before there was patterns, really. There used to be patterns for doilies and patterns for some odd baby shawls and baby things when I first learned to crochet. But there was no cardigan patterns, fashionable patterns. There was nothing like that when I first learned to crochet. That came much later, you know, when crochet became fashionable in the 60s. Yeah, that's what I mean. There was no real patterns for people, you know. And I think people back in the days were a lot more adaptable. They knitted and they crocheted without patterns, you know. I mean, a lot of my grandma's generation knitted socks without a pattern, which if you tell that to anybody younger now, they're absolutely, oh, I couldn't do that, I couldn't do that. But if you don't have a pattern, you have to fathom it out, you know, which is how I learned to crochet, by fathoming it out. The first thing I ever crocheted was a sweater, would you believe? And I laid a sweater on the table that fitted me, and I just crocheted round the shape. And I was 13 at the time. And yet I get people who can't do anything at all without a pattern. Or there's some people who can't do anything at all without a YouTube tutorial. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't have survived in the 50s. You wouldn't have been able to crochet anything, yeah. But, you know, I don't know how they would have managed. And they're I love the vintage patterns because they're simple. They say work in knit one purl one rib for 3 inches. They don't say knit one purl. They don't tell you every flipping row. And then they say continue in stocking stitch, increase in every 4th row till you get to so many stitches. They don't tell you every increase, no. And then they tell you to do the raglan, or they tell you to do the armhole, and they don't give you, what I call is, they don't baby you along. They just tell you the basics. Oh, hi, Lizzie. They just expected you to know, and people just worked things out and did it. And I think everybody's got lazy these days. I know it sounds awful, but they don't think for themselves. You need, you know, well, they can't. The number of people who said to me, will you do a tutorial? And I'm going, no, I'm not doing a tutorial. It's not my pattern. Can't do it. It's copyright. Oh, but why not? And I'm going, because it's a copy. It's somebody else's pattern. I can't just suddenly make a tutorial without their permission. Well, in any case, why? Why should I? You've got a pattern. Oh, but I can't read a pattern. I couldn't learn to read a pattern when I was young. I taught myself. I sat there and I read it and I taught myself. It's not hard. It looks like gibberish when you look at it, but if you think about it and you work it through, it's, she's not back from her shower. Perhaps she's having a very long shower, maybe. Perhaps she's got sidetracked. A sheller? Who's a sheller? It's one I don't know that. Anybody know a sheller? Or Sheila, you mean? Sheila does knitting tutorials, yeah, for her baby cardigans, yeah. Oh, I sometimes check with YouTube for a stitch if I'm not quite sure how a stitch goes. Yeah, somebody have to be spoon-fed, yeah. They cannot do anything. And I once upset a lady and I said, well, I'm sorry, but you're not a crocheter. I said, if you can't follow a pattern and you have to watch YouTube for every single thing that you make, I said, I'm sorry, but you can't call yourself a crocheter. And she got really upset with me. Don't say things like that just because I can't read. I said, no, it means you're not trying. My grandma used to say, can't means you won't try. She said, don't come to me and say, Grandma, I can't do this. She said, no. If you come to me and say, Grandma, I have tried and I have tried and I've tried, but I can't do it, then I'll show you how to do it. But she used to say, can't means won't try. And I think that is really, really what it is. They're so used to being spoon-fed that they won't even try to learn to read a pattern. Yeah, they are difficult at first. If you're a beginner and you don't know anything, they are difficult. But if you sit and you read it and you work your way through it, eventually the penny will drop and you'll go, I know what they mean. Yeah. As I say, if it's a stitch you don't know, there's plenty of stitches on YouTube, that just show you how to do a stitch. Another commercial. Oh, sorry about that. Nothing I can do, Mimi. I have no control. I wish they paid me. I'm not one of these £300 a month people. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind you complaining about a tutorial, the commercials, if they paid me. If they said, right, Janet, you get so many pence every time a commercial comes up, I'd be like, yay, put commercials on, yay, put them on the merrier, yay. But no, I don't get paid, I don't. I told you I got £60 the other week, which I was very grateful for, don't get me wrong. But that was from October until a couple of weeks ago. And we worked out it was less than £10 a month. So, hey, I'm not one of the big what's it. Excuse me, I'm having a drop of brandy. My tummy's a bit off. Don't worry, I won't be singing and dancing. I haven't had not that much brandy. I know they say you shouldn't have alcohol if your tummy's off, but it settles me down. It has to be brandy, though, nothing else, just brandy. And it settles my stomach. You're back again after your commercial break. I hope you enjoyed it. Was it bras again? It was bras the other week, wasn't it? Everybody kept getting push-ups and support ones and everything. Oh, I'm glad I'm in the kitchen and I don't have to go far to get to the fridge for my diet Coca-Cola. Although, I was reading somewhere, I read a lot of bump and junk. And this bloke, the top's a cardigan. I had a top on before, but I spilled on it just before I came on live. So I had to take it off and hurriedly put a cardigan on. And it was saying something about that sugar in moderation is no worse for you as a diabetic, that actually sweeteners are worse because they con your body into whatever it is, and it's worse for you. It's not not warm. It's just comfortable. It's 18 degrees here at the moment. So I wouldn't call it warm. We've not had the 30 degrees like they did in London. You know, London had that bit of a mini heat wave, didn't it? We didn't really get it. I think we got up to about 23, 24, which was hot for us up here. But I love it, you know, bring it on. I hate it when people moan, it's too hot. I'm thinking, oh, shut up. Shut up. It's not too hot at all. Leave it. It's lovely. Bring it on. Better than freezing, isn't it? At least I'm saving on the heating. Oh, shush. I actually got my bill for the month last month. And I'd used the electric, of course. But I'd actually spent... Oh. Somebody sent me a message from on the Urban Gypsy page. I don't use that page. Never mind. Right, I don't know what it was, that. I'm not reading it. I don't use that page. So I don't know why people send me messages on it. It must be obvious that I've not posted anything since about 2021. So you'd think they'd have a clue that I'm not using that page. We shall see. I'll maybe look at it later. It's a cardigan. I made it. I ran out of wool though. It's only 3/4. Woo! 3/4 sleeves. I ran out of wool. It's just a little simple pattern. Again, it's, you know, one I just thunk up in my head. Thunk it up. I could have actually done making it a little bit bigger, to be quite truthful, but we don't go into that. I've got to put a pin in it because it was gaping. But, you know. I did actually buy 2 dresses from the, well, it is Shine or Sheen, but I call it something else because it is quite rubbishy. But I've got to shorten them. And I've got to take them in a bit because they're too big. You don't know what size to get. It tells you a size on there, and they come and they're always bigger than what they say they are. So it's too big. Oh, you sent it to my Urban Gypsy. Can you send it to my other page? Because I don't use that one. Somebody sent me a message the other day, well, the other week, about wanting to buy a shawl or something, but it was a picture of a shawl I don't even remember making, and I certainly don't have it now. Somebody wanted to buy it, and I'm like, well, I'm not answering you because I haven't got it anymore. Because if I'd have answered her, she might have said, well, can you make me one? And I'm like, I don't even know what it was. I don't know where she dredged the picture from because I don't even remember ever making it. She must have been in the archives, I think. If I'd have still had it, she could have had it. Mind, she probably was in America, so probably not. I can't send to America anymore. It's just ridiculous. It's about £30 to send anything. You can't do it anymore. Can't do it. That was to my Facebook. You got it right this time, Sandra. It shows my Urban Gypsy picture when we say, yeah, I think because this started off, this YouTube started off when it was from the Urban Gypsy page. And I did used to use it, as you know, to show people what I'd actually made, which was for sale, but that's all sort of gone by the board years ago. I've not really used the Urban Gypsy page for about 3 years, at least 4 years. I've not used it since I moved, which is 4 years ago, yeah. And before that, I didn't use it because, of course, I was moving. So when I was moving from Prestwich to Fleetwood, I didn't, put things up for sale because I just couldn't get to the post office, etc., etc. So it's about 4.5 years since I used that. And that's why I started this YouTube in the first place, was to sort of like showcase what I'd made and what I was selling. But that's all come, like I say, water under the bridge now. It's all a long time ago. Plus the fact I used to show all the things I'd bought, which was the books, the magazines, and all the wool that Sue and I used to buy from Aishan. I think we bought Aishan out, didn't we? Do you know, I could never understand that. We asked, could we get a discount, because we ordered so much from them. And no, they didn't want to know. Everybody else gets freebies and God knows what else, don't they, sent to them. We ordered hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of ice, and we never got even an offer. I did get lots and lots of sample balls. I think it was Hobium or Hobie, but that was only done through a friend who actually knew the lady who owned the place. I think it was Hobie, that sent me a box full of all. They were more or less odd balls, but it was just to show what they did. And I did do a whole video about it, showing, what they sent me. But the only other one who did that was Abercarn. Abercarn had a competition, and it was what you could make with so many balls of. And they sent me a pile of, and I made all these baby things. I made baby cardigans, a blanket in zigzag stitch, only a baby blanket, and all that. And the only sort of thing they did was that they could use my things as like free publicity, as what you could make here with. So that was the only other thing I'd ever done. I don't get any free chairs. I'd love a free chair. I don't get anything like that. Obviously, I'm not big enough anymore. Or they don't think I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Who used to say that? We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Oh, you're back from your shower, I Enid. Mimi was getting quite worried. She thought you'd fallen down the plug hole. Maybe I'll start my Urban Gypsy page. When I take the photographs on Paris, when I get round to it, when I've decorated. Well, you got distracted. We thought you'd fallen down the plug hole. Or you were having a very, very long shower. What colour shall I do around the edge? Wayne's World. Oh, blimey. Oh, not worthy. Was it Wayne's World? Yeah, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. Yeah, it was We're Not Worthy. Irene used to watch Wayne's World a lot. His favourite of all time was Monty Python, The Life of Brian and all that. Oh, gosh. He used to have the video, that's going back a bit into the video, the VCR thing of, Life of Brian. And him and his mates used to come around and they used to put it on. And they all knew all the words. And they used to be there doing the dialogue as it was going along. We even had it on our answering machine once. Him doing Monty Python. And it goes, hey, you've done it again. You've rang when we're not home. And it was going on, and it goes, if you leave your name, your number, and your bank account details, if you are not too boring, we will return the call. If not, bye, gone. And we never got any messages. All we could hear was people laughing at the other end. But nobody ever left a message. But it was the way he said it. If you're not too boring, we'll return the call. Wayne's World party died. You thought you scared her off, what? No, she'd gone for a long shower. My shower keeps going hotter and hotter and hotter, and I keep trying to adjust it. It starts off fine, so I have to have a mighty quick shower, or it goes hotter and hotter and hotter. Yeah, the old answering machines, they were good, weren't they? Yeah. I even put all sorts on ours. You know, some are really rude. Please don't tell me it's you again. You know, things like that he put on the answering machine. And I go, don't put that on. He said, well, it stops them. I got a spate of, funny phone calls, like dodgy ones. And I got advice to put the answering machine on and leave it on. Don't answer your phone. Let the answering machine pick it up. Because if it's a funny phone call, they won't leave a message because they won't record their voice in case they get recognised. So we had an answering machine for quite a long time. And we used to tell everybody like that, we could be in. It's just that you have to listen to the messenger. Yeah. I watched Peter Kay when he had an answering machine. And he'd get, hello, this is your mother. My number is. And he'd say, I know your number, mother. And then he'd go, hello. I don't think he's in. The best one was my mum. She rang up and the answering machine kicked in. And I heard her say to my dad, they can't be in because it's funny, I can't hear the dog barking. I'm like, mother, somebody's got to pick up the phone for you to hear the dog barking. And she just didn't understand at all why she never heard the dog barking. No, I put a sofa for sale before we had all this internet and before we had marketplace and stuff like that. You used to have to put an advert in the local paper if you were selling anything, and you had to put your phone number down in the paper. So I'd got a 3-piece suite, I think I was selling or something. Oh Lord above, did I get some phone calls, some funny phone calls. But I mean, I hadn't put that I was a woman that was selling this sofa or anything. So, I mean, it could have been, a man or something that was selling the sofa. But I got a spate of the dodgy phone calls, I won't say what they were saying, but, we're dodgy. And I think I told you the other week, the worst one was the one who told me what I was wearing. And he was right. And I thought, this is getting beyond a joke. That really worried me. Because it was obviously somebody who'd seen me either out in the garden or out somewhere. When they start describing what you've got on, you're like, whoa, this is well dodgy. And that's when I got told to put the answering machine on and leave it, yeah. Yeah, I never did find out who it was, he did, but obviously somebody who knew me. You're looking very nice today, Janet. You know, you should wear that colour more often. It's really suits you and all that. Go away. But it was before the days when you could track the phone number. I mean, after that, you could do 1471, couldn't you, and see who was phoning you. But it was long before that. It was when people remained anonymous. You know, the numbers didn't come up on people's phones. It must be much more difficult now for anybody to do those kind of calls unless they could find a public call box. Yeah. I mean, you could remain, and you could do 151 in front of your number, which blocked your number from going out, couldn't you? Yeah, it used to come up as number withheld then if you did a 151 in front of your number. You can't do it now. It's back in the day when we all had house phones. That happened to you as well, yeah. You know it's a friend, don't you? Or a friend's husband or something, or a neighbour, you know, don't you? Because we had phone books back in the day, so they could look you up in a phone book unless you were extra. Oh, the phone. I never had one of them. I never had a prank phone call like that. But they're scary for some people. Like, you know, if people are living on their own and a bit nervy, you know, and somebody's describing what you've got on, it's a bit unnerving. And I'm not the kind of person that's nervy. But I must admit, they rattled me, those phone calls. You know, I'd say things like, "Who are you? You know, I'll get around. Show yourself. Just tell me who you are. You should know." And I'm like, obviously I don't. Well, it was when they could use, I mean, phone boxes are sort of out of existence now. The only one we've got round here is actually one in somebody's garden that they bought. It's not working. They just bought a phone booth because it sat in their garden. And then the bloke who lived up the street from me when I lived in Fleetwood, he built one out of wood in the lockdown, something to do. It was outside his front door for ages, but it disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. It just looked like a real phone booth, but he'd made it out of wood. Oh, doorstep kids, yeah. And they used to put a key on a string. I put your hand through the letterbox, didn't you? And pull the string. And half the time it could hardly reach the lock because the string weren't long enough. Because your mother didn't trust you with the key. Or you had to wear it round your neck underneath your blouse for school. Because they didn't trust you with the key, you'd lose them. We've got defibrillators, but they're up and down the beach, you know. There used to be one in the precinct in Fleetwood where I lived. They have these fundraisers and that to buy them, don't they? All I can smell is my garlic bread. I burnt it because I was talking to Sue. Oh, God, yeah, we wouldn't think nothing of us. You know, somebody else's parent would give you a drink or a jam butty, as we used to call them. Jam sandwich if you're not in the UK. Yeah, says your mum not in. Are you hungry? can't give you much, we can give you jam butter. Will that do you? Yeah, that'll fill the corner. Till your mum got in. Oh, God, we used to drink out of taps. We used to drink out of the stream. You know, God knows what the rats used to live in the stream. We used to drink out the stream. So wonder we weren't all dead. You know, you thought nothing, putting your hand in the stream and drinking. Wouldn't do it now, would you? Yeah, I've had many a jam butty out of somebody's mother's. I used to like my friend whose grandma had a chippy. If you were lucky and you went across, she'd give you a little few chips in a paper. Don't tell everybody, they'll all want them. She said, what, a few chips? Because chips were a luxury back in the day. Oh, God, you didn't get chips from the chippy. That was a treat. I mean, nowadays kids think food comes from McDonald's, don't they? We had a chip shop across the road, like I say, it was my friend's grandma. She used to give you half a dozen chips in a paper. Oh, thought it was wonderful. That used to be my treat on a Saturday sometimes when I went to ballet. I'd come back from ballet and my mum used to send me across the road with a basin, that's a bowl, for a 6-penny mixture. Used to put a few peas in the bottom, a few chips on the top, and then they'd ask you, do you want pea juice? You had pea juice poured over the top. Oh, used to think I was a millionaire. And she used to do onions in gravy, and she had them on the top of the counter and they were free. So you could put a few of these onions on top of your chips. Oh, I used to think I was the queen with them. 6-penny mixture. That's 6 old pennies, 6D, which is about 2.5p now. But I thought I was, the height of luxury. Getting a 6-penny mixture on a Saturday sometimes. Not every Saturday, because I suppose it depended on whether she got the sixpence or not. But I didn't know we were poor. I never knew we were poor at all. So only looking back, you think, oh my God, we were poor. But I never thought we were. Because nobody else had any more than I did. So you judge your poorness, don't you, by your fellow peers all around you. And if your peers are getting more than you are, then you think you're poor. But nobody had more than I did, so I didn't think I was poor. I was well fed, you know. Probably not the best of food, but I was well fed. I had clothes. They might be hand-me-downs, but I had clothes. Clean and tidy, as my mother would say, you know. Never had much money, but, you know. But people back then really looked after their kids, you know. They didn't smoke, drink and gamble their money away, yeah. You know, they didn't have mobile phones and have money to have their hair done and stuff like that. Like the mothers today think they're poor. They can't get their nails done and their hair done and everything. I can't remember my mother ever going to the hairdresser. She must have done, I suppose, at times, but I don't remember her. She definitely didn't have a manicure. Manicures and pedicures, nah, no such thing as them. I remember one of the cotton mills, you know, height of luxury, they employed a chiropodist. Because, you know, like women were on their feet, weren't they, all day long in the mills. And they employed a chiropodist. And you could have this chiropodist for, I think it was a shilling. And she used to see to your feet for a shilling. And you could book time out from work to go and, you know, she used to come in work time. And you were allowed to book time out to go to see this chiropodist. Oh, the women thought they were in heaven because they'd never had anybody see into their feet before. You know, it was like the height of luxury. Oh, you want to work for so-and-so mill? They have a chiropodist that comes once a month. Well, you couldn't go every month because, of course, you have to book in, you know. You have to book your time slot. But everybody thought it was the best thing ever. I remember my aunties talking about it for weeks. Because one of my aunties had a corn. People used to get a lot of corns. Do they still get them? I think it was through badly fitting shoes, wasn't it? And clogs and stuff. I used to have a load of coins from everywhere, but I gave them to my niece to put in a school when I was moving. You know, I was jettisoning anything that was kind of unnecessary. I used to have I'd always keep coins from whichever country we went to. It was before there were euros. Everybody country had their own. Like we had drachma, didn't we, from Greece, and you know, francs from France, and lira was it from Italy. But now it's all euros, isn't it? Now everybody's got the same currency. I know it makes it easier, but it was still more interesting, I think, when you had to negotiate everything in francs. You had to sort of do mental calculations in your head. You know, you'd be looking at a shop window and it'd say 3,500 francs or something, and you're like, is that dear? Or is that cheap? We didn't have calculators back then, so you're like, you know, trying to work it all out with a bit of paper. The bank would have given you a little conversion chart, yeah. So you were standing outside the shop window trying to work out whether 3,500 francs was dear or not, yeah. Well, the cotton mills, they wore clogs, you know, with that, you know, what's it called, Lowry, with his sparking clogs and that. Because they had irons on the bottom of the clogs and they used to spark as they went down the. If they were late and they were running a bit, there'd be sparks coming off the irons on the clogs. Clog irons, yeah. Yeah, everybody wore clogs in the mill, and that's where they got coins from, I suppose, the ill-fitting clogs. Nobody wore a coat, they always wore shawls. Shawls and clogs. Shows how old I am, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm a child of the, well, late 40s, 50s, aren't I? But they still wore the shawls. My grandma, I presume my grandma had a coat, but I never remember grandma wearing a coat. She always wore a shawl. She went anywhere, she put the shawl on. If it was cold, she'd wrap it round her head and then a shawl. A big shawl it was, a big woolly shawl. Yeah, my grandma always had a shawl. My other grandma didn't. My mum's mum, she had a coat. But my dad's mum always wore a shawl. And she wore clogs, even though she didn't work for, obviously she was kind of retired and elderly. But she still wore her clogs. They had shoes for best. She must have had a coat because she wouldn't wear a shawl if she was very strong Catholic, my grandma. She wouldn't have worn a shawl to go to church. She would have worn a coat and a hat and a handbag to go to church. So she must have had a coat, yeah. I just never thought of wearing it. Man, I used to stay out of the way when it was church because they used to try and take me with them. I was a little bit of a heathen. I used to go to Sunday school, but I think that was just because my mum wanted to get rid of us. She'd get her housework done or whatever it was she wanted to get done when we were out at Sunday school. Hi, Shell. I'm doing all right today. Not so bad. Get ready to do some painting in the kitchen. Well, not me, but I'm going to help do some painting in the kitchen. I cannot take claim to doing the painting. I've been told I'm not doing it. My niece and her husband are doing it. I'll be doing some of it. I'm doing the gloss painting. I'll be doing the doors, but that'll be later when they've gone. Unless I do some on Tuesday, I don't know. I've got I won't be going anywhere Tuesday, so I might start a door on Tuesday. Depends how I feel. Depends on the weather, whether I can have the door open or not, because it smells, doesn't it, gloss paint? Oh, dear Lord. So it should be a different colour behind me by next Saturday. You never know, I might do a video in between, because my camera's working now and I've got an itchy nose now. The camera's working again. Thank you to my friend for coming round and sorting it out for me. The guy had sorted it out, it's just I couldn't find out where the videos were going here. Bright colours, yay! Yay for bright colours. Boo for beige. Please don't tell me anybody's making a beige cardigan. Cream, it's fine. Beige, no. Good show. Good show. I've never worn that one I did in patches, if you remember. I keep thinking, I'm not going to wear it. I know I'm not going to wear it. I made it with some cotton I got. I bought some cotton on eBay. They were like 1 balls of each colour, and I made this cardigan, if you remember, in squares, a bit like Harry Stylesy type of thing. I've never worn it, I never will. Oh, God, painted. Oh, how awful. I was talking to my neighbour next door that way, and I said, oh, God, I hate grey. And she said, oh, you wouldn't like my house then? It's all grey and white. Oh, the people who bought our old house in Fleetwood have painted it all grey. Oh. She says, you can come round and look at it any time you want. I thought, not if you painted it grey. I'm not coming anywhere near it. Apparently, grey is out of fashion now, thank God. Colours are coming back. So if you painted your house grey, sorry, you're passé. Got an itchy nose. Sorry, I'm not picking it. It's just itchy. I'm so glad you're painting it if it's grey. Do you remember that fashion where everybody had everything white? I think it was like John Lennon started it, didn't he? Everything was white. White walls, white suite, white. I thought, oh. My sister-in-law, when she painted her lounge before she moved, I mean, I don't know what colour she's got now. It was just beige carpet, beige curtains, beige wallpaper. And I'm like, and she goes, oh, a beige suite. And she goes, do you like it? And I thought, how can I say no? It's horrible. And my niece is like shaking her head behind because she knew I didn't like it. She's going, don't say anything, don't say anything. And I'm going, it's very tasteful. My niece's house, I walked in and her lounge, it's got dark green on the wall. It's beautiful with white paintwork. And I went in, I went, oh, God, I love your lounge. I said, it's fantastic. And she goes, it's too dark. We don't like it. We're thinking of painting it. And I was going, don't paint it grey. But it really suited it. It was only one wall. One wall was this dark green. Beautiful it was. I want to paint my bedroom, but I can't move the wardrobe and I can't move the bed. So I'll be one of those people who paints around everything. If ever I move, there'll be and they move the bed, there'll be a gap where it's not been painted. I can't move the wardrobe. Yeah, I'd love to be thoroughly boho, really boho. But it costs a lot of money to have a theme. When you decide you're going to do your house in such a theme, you've got to go for it, and have it completely. My big yen was, do you know the 3-piece suites that are in patchwork, bright colours? I absolutely love them. But I've never had the courage to actually go and buy one. I settled for just royal blue when I went for my sofa because I wanted an L shape. And they didn't have an L shape in patchwork, otherwise I might have done it. But and I still see them online, and I still think, why didn't I get a patchwork sofa? I mean, the carpet in the lounge here is beige, so I've covered it up because I can't stand it. When we came to look at the house, my daughter-in-law said, "Oh, the carpet's lovely, isn't it?" And I went, "No." It had beige curtains, and it's got one wall which is like got beigey pattern on it, but I can't see it because the telly's on there and the Billy bookcases are on there, so there's not much of the wallpaper showing actually. And I've covered up the beige carpet. I've put a big rug over it. It's like a turquoise green with peacocks on it. And I've put my turquoise curtains up. Velvet curtains are up. Oh, she said the curtains are beautiful. I said they might be beautiful. They finished up in the charity shop. Sorry. Something for the 30s. I love watching that lady, what she call a little vintage dollhouse or something. Her house is all done up in, like the 30s, 40s style. She's done it all. She's got as much vintage as she can. Even in her kitchen, she's got a fantastic cooker. It's very, very old-fashioned, and it's got the eye-level grill. I can't use my grill because my grill's in the bottom of the oven. Don't know if you can see the oven there. It's like there, and I can't get to it. It's too low down. I'm like that trying to grill something. It hurts me back. I'm actually thinking of getting a tabletop grill thing, but I can't. I've no tabletops. I've no counter space. So I don't know where I put it if I bought one, yeah. You need antimacassars shell, them crochet antimacassars that they had in. I've got a beautiful book. I'll find it one day. It's copies of Victorian patterns, and they have lovely things like antimacassars and stuff, all in the fine. And like Val was saying how fine it is. And, antimacassars. Because people used to wear macassar oil, men, in the hair that used to stain all the furniture. So they used to put antimacassar slip covers on to protect the furniture. I've got Granny Square. I've been looking all over in the thrift stores. I've not found any. The old-fashioned embroidered tablecloth. I didn't give them away. They got thrown away, didn't they? I had them from my grandma, where they were. And I had my mum's wedding present, which was beautiful. And of course, can't bring them. So they all went. And I'm so sad now because I haven't got them anymore. I love vintage things like that. Embroidered mats and stuff like that. I saw a beautiful picture. I showed it to Sue, actually. She said she liked it. I'll put it on our page. It's somebody who's bought doilies, and they put them as a picture and, put buttons on them and that. And, they're so pretty. Oh, I used to embroider. I've forgotten how these days. I've really forgotten how. I don't think I've got the patience anymore for embroidery. And I've definitely not got the eyesight and the patience for cross-stitch and stuff. My eyes are just not good enough for small twiddly things. And I can't hold fine needles. I was sewing something up the other day. What was I sewing up? I was repairing something. If I drop the needle once, I drop the needle a million times. Hunting around on the carpet trying to find this blooming needle because I thought I'm going to step on it if I don't find it. And then after I'd done all that, I kicked the pins over, everywhere. There's never any doilies in our charity shops round here. Never any. There used to be when I lived in Prestwich. There was loads of doilies and stuff, but here, same with embroidered tablecloths. Never see any. I don't know whether they just don't have them. Well, I'm supposed to be going back. I think I told you when I did the testing, I couldn't see with my left eye. I couldn't see the flashlights. You're supposed to press a button every time you see a light flash. Did okay with the right eye, but the left eye, it was like a black film kept coming over it, and I kept saying, I can't see, can't see. So she said, I need to refer you. And I said, well, I need to go to the optician. She said, no, don't go to the opticians until we, sort out what's wrong with your left eye. So I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I've not heard a thing. But I'm not wasting money on glasses, if they're not going to be no use to me. So I just use ordinary, those cheapy glasses that you get, the readers, yeah. Your cotton fitted sheets developed have you got, you must have sharp toenails, missus. Yeah, one of mine wore out. It was one of my favourites as well. It didn't get a rip in it, it just went thin. It's so transparent you could see the mattress underneath. I thought, time to get a new sheet. But I bought new bedding when I moved to Fleetwood, so I've got new sets, yeah. Well, check his toenails, he might have talons. I need to do my toenails. I was walking along the other day, only a little bit of walking, but I thought, my shoes are too tight. I thought, why are they too tight all of a sudden? And then I realised my feet haven't grown, it's my toenails that have, yeah. But it's a bit difficult when you can't reach your feet, isn't it, You can get cotton, but they're expensive. It's usually polyester cotton. Over here, anyway. They're not usually just cotton on their own. You can get them, though, but they're terribly expensive. You have to get the high-end stuff, which is like high-end prices. Actually, polyester cotton doesn't bother me, so I'm all right. I wouldn't want all polyester, no. It has to be polyester cotton. Oh, these dresses I've got from Shein. I mean, they're like printed parachute silk. The material is absolutely rubbish. But you pay cheap, you get cheap, don't you, And they don't look half as nice as they did. They did on the mannequins. It's like there's some adverts on Facebook at the moment, and they look really nice. They look like embroidered tops with embroidery. And if you read the reviews, people are saying, don't buy them. You don't get like linen and cotton, which they're advertising, with these like embossed. You just get cheap printed things that come from China. Cheap with flowers printed on them. Good God. Last time I had a chiropodist, I went to one in Cleveland. It cost me £45. And all they did was cut my toenails in a jaggy line. Didn't do any hard skin, didn't do any moisturising, didn't do anything. And I thought, well, I ain't coming back here. £45 it cost me. I used to get free foot treatment with being diabetic when I was living in Prestwich, but they don't do it here. Well, they do it, but you've got to be on a waiting list that's like a mile long, and you have to wait till somebody dies before you get on it. So, in other words, yeah, I used to get free free treatment. All right, they only used to cut my nails. They didn't do any faffing about. You know, to get faffing about, you've got to go to a nail salon, don't you? But then they don't check you for diabetes. They just do your nails, but they do pamper you and they do paint your nails, and it costs about 25 quid. A bit different than somebody who goes, that'll be £45, thank you very much. Thought, I'm not going back to you. He said, you need to come every 6 weeks. I thought, you won't see me again. I said, I'm on a pension. £45 a lot of money. So I used to go to the nail place in where I lived, but there's one round here, but I don't know how good it is. The one in Prestwich used to be brilliant. It was run by little Thai girls. I think they were Thai. Fabulous. Massage your feet, massage halfway up your leg to your knee. Do all your hard skin, paint your nails. Brilliant. 25 quid. Here you go. Thank you very much. Great. I don't know what the one's like around here. I've not been. I don't walk as much. Well, obviously, I'm in the scooter now, aren't I? I don't walk as much as I used to, so I don't notice anything. I do check my own feet, make sure I've not got any cuts on them or anything. Because I've got neuropathy, you don't always notice if you've stepped on something that could have cut your foot or something. So I always have to check my feet with a mirror. Unfortunate, really, I've never had a corn, touch wood. Never had a corn. I've had a verruca when I was a kid, but I've never had a corn. Maybe that's, because I've always really been able to afford a good pair of shoes, I mean, you don't have to go mad with expensive shoes, but, a decent middle of the road pair of shoes, yeah. I've got arthritis everywhere, dear. The fingers are the worst. People say, oh, specialist, oh, you shouldn't be knitting, you shouldn't be crocheting. I'm worse. The minute I stop doing anything. Oh, I've got arthritis in my knees and my hips, my back, my shoulders, my elbows, my arms, my neck. That's why I can't do the ceiling, because I can't look back. But you just keep on going. As my dad used to say, there's plenty in the graveyard. I'd wish they were you, yeah. Yeah, you've got to keep going. I keep trying to tell that to my friend. She's got bad knees, waiting for an operation, but she sits around far too much. I mean, my knees are terrible when I sat down. If I get up here, I'm like, ah! You can literally hear them. But you've got to use them. If you don't use it, you lose it, and that's the end. People say, oh, it's painful. I said, yeah, I know. I'm in pain every day of my life, but I just get on with it. You don't get a medal. People don't hand out medals for being in pain. And people don't want to know. People say, oh, yes, I'm fine. Or I'm fine today. Or I'm having a good day today. Because they don't want to know. They don't want you to go into details. Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. And how to lose friends and influence people. You just keep going. Breathe in, breathe out. As long as you're doing that, you're fine. Good days, bad days. Bad days in a row, yeah. I know some of the stuff smells worse than the cure, doesn't it? People go, what are you wearing? Some of the stuff smells. Ooh, you don't put it on because you know you're going to stink everybody out when you go to the supermarket. But it's going when you're walking past. Mm. Oh God, yeah, fiery jack. Oh, you probably don't have fiery jack, do you? We used to have fiery jack. It was terrible. Horse liniment used to be the worst. We used to put the old people used to get horse liniment and put that on. Dear Lord above, that used to smell. Especially when a lot of them only had a bath once a week and they'd put this liniment on and it'd be building up and building up. The smell would be getting stronger, because they didn't believe in baths back in the olden days. Oh dear. Yeah, colour. Oh God, it's worse than cologne that's gone off. You smell like horses. Horse liniment, it used to be. I don't think they sell it anymore, but they used to sell horse liniment. And those pain patches that make you itch. The ones you buy over the counter. Oh, the advertising, well, put these on and you'll be dancing around and jumping around. And you're like, no, they make me itch. I don't know. One with green round the outside. I must be feeling better because last week I only did 3 all the time I was talking to you. Now I've done 4. So I must be feeling better. I've done 1 more square. And I've still got another half hour to go. So I may get another one. I may get 5 squares. You never know. You're lucky in a raffle. The best thing I ever got was Jill used to do little potions and stuff like that. Jill that comes on here. She sent me a little roll-on. It was like for pain. It was brilliant. But I asked her about it and she doesn't have the stuff anymore. She doesn't do it anymore. And she couldn't even remember what she'd put in it to get it made up by anybody else. It was, Fiberfluser. She used to do that when she had a shop before she closed the shop down. She used to do hairdressing and she used to do, like tinctures and things like that. But they're all herbal and that. It was nothing untoward. But she sent me this little roll-on. It was for pain relief. And it didn't smell that bad, actually. It smelled... I can't remember what it smelled. Because I tell you what, I put it on the back of my neck when I used to get those. I know it sounds stupid saying you get a headache in your neck, but I used to get headaches at the back. Well, I still do, actually. But roll on. Brilliant it were. But she can't even remember what was in it, and she didn't write on the label. She just put on for pain relief. And she sent it across to me. It was like, little, almost like a lipstick size thing it was. But it was really good. And I wish I knew what was in it or whatever so I could get something else similar. But it wasn't anything dodgy in it, it was just stuff. Yeah, that's why I can't do the ceiling. That's what I asked my niece. I said, I hate to ask you, but will you help me with the ceiling? And she said, of course I will. Because if I put my head back like that to paint the ceiling, I'll just go. I'll just black out, It's like pinches nerves, when I put my head up. And if I was standing on a ladder, it's not pretty, is it? Like I could finish up on the floor. So she said, no, you are not doing the ceiling. If I wanted anything wallpapered, I would get a decorator in because I know I can't do that. Can't do the wallpaper. I can do walls. I can do that because I'm looking at them like that, straight on. But put my head back, no, I can't do that. Yeah, my other friend who used to be a gym teacher, really. She used to weightlift, and I swear blind that's why she's finished up like she is, because she's a good 10 or 15 years younger than me, and yet she's worse than me. And she can't move her neck to the left or the right, and I think it's pulling up. She used to like bench press her own weight, because she was a gym instructress. And I said to her, I said, "You've done that," I said, "through your blooming gym." I said, "You're not meant to bench press bloody weights that heavy." I mean, I did mine through lugging stuff around when I had the shop. Wool used to come in massive big bags, and I used to be lumping up boxes. I used to be lumping them about, carrying them up and down the stairs. And people used to say to me then, "You'll pay for that when you get old." And I'd say, "No, you think you're invincible when you're young, don't you? Nothing will ever happen to you. You think I don't know. You think you'll live forever and nothing will happen." And then I went working at Asda part-time, as well as me. I did 40 hours a week working at the job centre. Then I used to do anything from 16 hours upwards, 20 hours in Asda, lugging them big cages, loaded up with boxes about, lugging them about. And then one day I did it and my back just went, that was it. I had to just give it up. People said, "Why did you do it?" I said, "Well, I wanted central heating. I ain't got the money for central heating. I was single, paying mortgages and stuff like that. So it was get another job." Near killed me though. I was working, 40? Sometimes 60 hours a week I was working. And believe me, working at Asda filling up shelves is hard work. But yeah, I didn't like going on the tills. I just didn't like the tills. I didn't want to do the tills. But the things you do when you need the money. People say, "You work 60 hours a week." I said, "Well, I just needed the money." And when you want something, I wouldn't go into debt. I could have got a loan, but then I'd have had to pay it back. So, I thought, no. But my back, that had been like that for a while, went thump, and that was the end of me. That's when I finished up having the spinal operation. But you do some daft things in your life, don't you? No, what's an IRL? You've lost me there, Enid. I do find that there's a lot, in real life, I do find there's a lot more drama in American YouTube lives and stuff. We don't get that over here. Pretty, you know. I stopped going into American lives because of all the drama. People seem to thrive on it. Thankfully, we don't get it over here the same. Oh, God, we've all had friends who use us. I've had a couple of friends who've used me something terrible. The money they've had out of me in the past, and my time, and my energies. Well, do I learn? No, I don't. I'm still as daft as ever. I've been stitched up royally by a few, yeah. It's life, Enid. People do it to you. And it's not all lovey-dovey and roses. I mean, I've had 2 or 3 friends that have really done the dirty on me. But, do I live and learn? No, I don't. I'm too trusting. That's my trouble. I believe everybody at face value, and you shouldn't, should you, these days? You should be wary. I mean, fortunately, at the moment, I've got some damn good friends, and I'm very grateful. I seem to have left the dross behind. No, I have got some new, well, the new friends, really, newish. Since I've been here, mostly the friends are from here now, except for Sue, of course, who's been my friend for 20 odd years. I mean, I've still got my friends from Prestwich, but I don't see them anymore. It's not because we've fallen out or anything, I just don't see them anymore. But I won't give up on. I'll probably get another friend who'll do the same to me. But mostly I'm lucky at the moment. I've got some really good friends. I mean, Val's one of my good friends, aren't you, Val? Linda's another one. They're not users and abusers, if you know what I mean. We've all had them, haven't we? People you think are friends, and then you realise they're just using you. But sadly, it's part of life. And do we learn? Will it happen again? Yeah, probably. Yeah, but I mean, you kind of get to know who are your real friends and who are the ones who'd stab you in the back if they could, Yeah, we are. We're fiends as well as friends. Yeah. I mean, I miss my friends at Knit Club. I'm sorry I can't come back, Val, but No, we don't have drama. I can honestly say in my knit clubs we've got one that's very loud. Well, I don't go to that one anymore, not because I've fallen out with anybody. I hasten to add. It's just inconvenient for me to go because it's in the evening. We've got one that's a bit loud, that speaks her mind, don't we, Val? But, she, I've never, well, I did have words with her once, but I won't say I fell out with her. No, I've been very lucky, really, apart from the first knit club I joined, and they were horrendous. They just weren't my people, if you're with me. But the last three I go to, fine. I'm just sorry I can't go to the one where Val is because it's just not convenient. If it was in the daytime, I'd be fine. I'd be able to go, but I won't go out at night with a scooter, I know it's daylight and that, but it's just something about like 9 o'clock at night and, it wasn't so bad because I only lived around the corner when I lived in Fleetwood, but now I live miles away. Yeah, I'm lucky. It's like the library. We have a good laugh in the library. And nice ladies. Very nice. I say ladies because they are all ladies. It's not that we're sexist or anything. It's just that we haven't got any males that joined us. And the ones that I go to, the church one I go to on a Wednesday, very nice ladies. As I say, I've been fortunate, really. Apart from the first one I joined, was no. Users and abusers was not the word. And uncouth was another word that came to mind. So, no, not my kind of people. I know it sounds very snobby, but sorry. I like my ladies to be ladylike, if you know what I'm saying. Not that I'm ladylike. But I like ladies who are ladylike. I'm probably the rebel rouser in a lot of them. The first one I went to was smutty, You're in a public place, you're in a pub. Loud voices being smutty, not what I want to be associated with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've got lots of friends I speak to online. I've got lots of friends in America I speak to online. I'll probably never ever meet them. But yeah, we have good chats. I've got one lady I speak to, she lives in Malaysia, you know, and yet we chat all the time. Oh, we've got a fly. If this is still the same fly, it's living a life. It keeps dive bombing me. Getting on my nerves now. It's either the same fly or it's bringing its friends in. Yeah, well, I mean, Linda's had a trouble with one person in her craft group that drives her potty. You've just got to stand up for yourself and say, look, mate, not having it. Yeah, one told Linda that she should leave the group. Yeah, right. I'd say to her, shall we toss for it? Which one leaves, you or me? Ain't this town ain't big enough for the both of us? I'm lucky, really. The groups I'm in now, there's no leaders. Nobody runs it. There's always one that you look to for the organisation, but I've not been in one where anybody kind of wants to rule the roost. The first one I joined, yes, they wanted to rule the roost, and they wanted to tell everybody what to do. I don't like that. No, no. Well, you should say, what's your problem with me, love? You have a problem with me? Spit it out. Let's have it out here and now. Don't be saying things behind my back. Don't say rude things to me because I won't take it. So, when you get older, Enid, you'll learn to stand up for yourself. You're allowed to be the crazy old mad lady like me. Oh, I used to get trodden on. People used to walk all over me, not anymore. You should say, what's your problem? Hello, and how is Gateshead doing? How is rainy, rainy Gateshead? You should say to her, grey is fashionable. Do you have a problem with it? Stand up for yourself, Enid. Yeah, don't let us stand on you. I'll run back. You say, I happen to like my hair grey. Does it bother you? Because if it is, stop looking at me. That doesn't make any difference whether she's older than you. You can still tell her off. Still tell her to sod right off. I would. I'd say, I have a problem. You should tell her straight. I don't have a problem with having grey hair. You have the problem, not me. It's like me when people say, why do you still do your hair blonde? I want to be blonde. It's my prerogative. If I want to be blonde. Hi, Jane. You missed a bit. Yeah, I don't know what you've missed, but what's Jane missed? Somebody fill her in. What we've been talking about. We're trying to get Enid to grow a pair of balls, yeah. Stand up for herself. I do that with Linda. Tell Linda she needs to grow a pair of balls as well. Cause a scene. Yeah. You should say who died and made you God, yeah. There are ways of getting around people like that. They only boss you about because they can. And they pick on you because they can. If you start answering them back, they'll stop picking on you because they don't like it when they can't have their own way. Just so that's your opinion, and in my opinion, your opinion ain't worth buttons. Have you got anything else you want to say to me? Say it now, or forever hold your peace. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You need to grow a pair, honestly, Enid. That's why they do it to you. Because you don't answer them back. They know they can walk all over you, and they will do it. And they'll keep on doing it until you tell them to stop it. There's more ways to skin a cat, as they say. You know, I used to take it at one time, but not anymore. I don't care if they don't like me. It doesn't bother me particularly. The right people will like you. So if the others don't, that's tough. Yeah, well, summon up the inner Enid and tell her where she gets off. Say, right, I'm back. Go to the knit club. Say, right, I'm back. Any more off you? Yeah, they can't take it. You're right, Chris. They just can't. If you answer them back, they can't. They do it because they can. They pick on the weakest of the bunch. And they pick because they can. And they feel good because they flattened you. But if you start answering them back and saying, look, mate, you know, just shut it, button it, I've had enough, you know. If you have else to say, well, say it now, right now, in front of everybody. Why don't you say it? Everybody's going to listen to what you're going to say to me. Say it, yeah. Yeah, they're bullies. Well, you should say, what can you do, love? Do you come here every day, every week, just to be nasty? Is that your aim in life? Is that your craft? Oh God, it wouldn't bother me. Wouldn't bother me. At one time, I would not have said a peep. I'd be like Enid. I wouldn't say a word. Just go home and cry about it. But now, no. If anybody wants to say anything to my face, they can say it and I'll answer them back. They don't like being answered back. Well, if you want to die, you die. If you don't, you don't, do you? Oh, you got to stick up for yourself, Martin. People pick on you because they can. No, you shouldn't walk away because then they've won. You should walk right back. I don't mean punch them in the eye literally, but you know what I mean. Both barrels between the eyes, you know. Through. Yeah, you should say, what have you actually knitted? Yeah, just, well, you can do that after you've had your say, can't you? I wouldn't just sit there taking, doing my knitting and not saying anything. I say, well, I've made this. What have you made? Oh, can you not knit? What do you come for? You just come for a fight. I didn't know this was a boxing club. I thought it was a craft club. Yeah, you always get the one that thinks they run the place. The place would fall apart without them. Woo! Well, you wonder why they do come, don't you? People can be awful, yeah. But as I say, they pick on you because they can. They just feel the power of being horrible. Turns them on, that's their aim in life. There's certain people, I don't know why, you get them in all walks of life, but just nasty people. And they get a kick out of being nasty. And it must be what drives them. You know, they must get up in the morning, like, you know, with this, who can I be nasty to today? And you have to feel sorry for them because you're thinking that's the best they can do all day. Is that the only time they get any pleasure, is picking people apart? Yeah, live and let live. We all bump into people who rile us up. I mean, some people haven't got to say a word to me and I think I don't like them. You know? Yeah, there's some people I take an instant dislike to and I can't tell you why. But I wouldn't go out my way to be nasty to them, you know, unless they started on me. But there's some people who, you know, chalk and cheese, you know, you just don't get on with them, do you? There's nothing you can do because, you know, you're never going to like them, are you? You know, you take an instant dislike and that's it. I mean, I did walk away from that first knitting group because I just couldn't stand it anymore. And I thought, I'm going to have a blazing row here. Well, the trouble is, nobody else thought that there was anything wrong with this woman. And yet she was rude and obnoxious and very, very crude. And I didn't like what she was saying out loud where people were listening in the pub. You know, I thought, no, she's showing me up. I don't want to be associated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need another row. So I did walk away from that situation. But I did tell the other woman why I was leaving. I did tell her. She said, oh, everybody's leaving the group. And I said, oh, I'll tell you why. I said, and if you don't do something about her, I said, you won't have any members left. Oh, she's my friend. Anyway, since fell out, so she doesn't go anymore. She's my friend. I went, I said, well, I'm sorry for your lovey. If that's your friend, you need some better friends. Well, she probably will. She hasn't got you to torment. You probably spoiled her day now you've left. She's got nobody to pick on. No, a few more people left the first knit club after I did, yeah. Yeah, watch Star Trek. No, I'm fortunate at the moment. I've got some really good friends, so. Yeah, bullies are terrible, yeah. If you stand up to them, they bully because they can. And if you don't stand up to them, they carry on doing it. I always think they have got the problem. They're probably being bullied. Oh, the knit club I left, me. It wasn't so much that they constantly argued, it was that they were crude and they'd say things out loud and I'd be cringing thinking, you don't talk like that in a mixed company. And yeah. I used to come home and think, why have I gone? I've not enjoyed that at all. So I thought, yeah, they were very crude. Very loud, very crude in a pub that was mixed company. saying things you shouldn't. It's all right, women talking amongst themselves quietly. I'm not saying crudely, but quietly, but not top of their voices, but saying things for effect to see whether the guys were listening. And the more the guys were listening, the cruder she got. And I thought, no, I don't want to be tarred with the same brush. I don't want the men in this pub thinking that I'm the same. Couldn't do with it, no. But she thought she was being funny. Oh, she wasn't. But she's since had a row with another woman. She's not going there anymore, so she's left. So there's hope for you yet, Itchy. Enid, she might have left. You should let me know. Let me know when she's gone, because I'll come back then. No, I'm on my own a lot of the time, Jane. I've got friends and I go to knit clubs, but I'm not lonely. You can be alone and not be lonely. There's a big difference, isn't there? Well, tell the other ones, just say, I'll come back. Get rid of her and I'll come back. Make them choose between you and them, you and her. Maybe other people in the group don't like her either. How different. Have you asked them? Maybe they don't like her either. Well, I don't give a damn whether she predates you, Enid. Doesn't make her God, does it? You could just casually mention to somebody that you like, I'll come back if she goes. But until she goes, I ain't coming back. No, even though the other one's left, I won't go back. They don't have any. When they just go and none of them can do anything properly. It's not a crafting group because none of them can craft. They might as well just say it's a social group and leave it at that, yeah. Yeah, well, just tell him if you bump into the librarian. Just say, well, I can't stand it anymore. She's just a bully and I'm not going back. Yeah, start your own, Enid. There you go. Martin says start your own. And say, she's not coming. She's bad. Invitation only. Yeah. Do you go to a knit club, Martin? Or a crafting group, I should say. I had a salad for my tea and now my stomach's rumbling. You shouldn't eat before you go to bed. Well, I shouldn't anyway because I've got hiatushernia. But I'm hungry. You're a busy bee, Enid. I'm too busy and I don't know what to do. The day goes past and goes round and I can't tell you what I do all day, but I'm never bored. I never have time to be bored, yeah. not bad over here by and large, you know, Lizzie. I can honestly say they're not that bad over here. I think you're a lot crueler in America. I'm sounding a bit racist here, aren't I? But from what I can gather, they're a lot more snippy over there. Maybe we're more polite as Brits, you know, I don't know. I've done five squares I've done while I've been chatting. So 2 more. If I do 2 more tomorrow, I can put another row in. Yeah, I found they were very, you know, people used to say to me, why don't you go in the lives? You know, we never see you in the lives. And I went into a few lives and they were so, I don't know, opinionated, I think is the word I would use, opinionated. And the trouble is their opinions were always right, you know. And I didn't like the cattiness, you know, the bitching behind the back because somebody wasn't in. They were bitching about her, you know, and I'm like, hang on a minute, you were talking to her like she was your best friend last week, and now you're being really bitchy because she's not in the group at the minute, yeah. And, you know, I just didn't like that. And they were calling each other names behind their backs and that, and I thought, no, it's not for me. And I found a lot of the ones in America, a lot of them beg. Can't be doing with that. You know, begging for stuff. Oh, I can't afford this, can't afford that. Covert begging, what I call it, you know. They don't actually ask for money or ask for things, but they're putting out there, oh, I love that wool, but I can't afford it. And, oh, it would be nice if I could get some of that wool and all this crap. And no, sorry, but no, I don't like it. Don't like it at all. If I can't afford it and I can't save up for it, I don't want it and I'll do without it. I'm not going to beg. I've listened to them begging for sewing machines and begging for stuff, and I'm like, stop it. It's absolutely pitiful to beg like that. I used to get sick of hearing people, you know, oh, can't afford the rent this week, or don't know what I'm going to do, and all that. Ooh. A GoFundMe for a crochet retreat. I'll do one of them. Can you pay for me to go on a crochet retreat? I'll go to Lay Family Yards and learn how to dye. No, I won't. Davina? No, Crafty Clegs. Jeanette was talking about a crochet retreat, but then she was talking about it going down south somewhere. And I'm like, oh, because she lives up north, not too far from me. And I'm like, why don't you do one up here, Jeanette? Because there's never any up here. They're always down south. Oh, I've got an itch. Sorry about this, but I've got an itch. She was going to fly to Canada. Ooh. Good evening, Shad. Where have you been? Have you got a note from your mother? Well, it's a different one today. It's got all bits dangling on it. Got little silver things dangling. They don't ring. They're not bells. Little things with beads on the end and all this plastic stuff. It's a very unusual one today. Yeah, I hope Jeanette does do something. I might, if I can afford it, I might just, I can get there. My problem isn't I'd wangle the money somehow if I wanted to go. My problem is getting there, you know, actually physically getting there. That's the problem. If it was anywhere northern that I could sort of maybe get to, you know, maybe be able to get there by public transport. But a lot of these retreats are like in the middle of no place. I've looked them up, like, and if you got a train to wherever is the nearest, you'd have to get a taxi that would cost you pounds to get to these retreats. It's not so much paying for the actual retreat. It's You've been trimming the trees, have you? Right, I wondered where you was, yeah. Yeah, oh no, I wouldn't ask people to sponsor me to go to a crochet retreat. No. If I could if I could get to one and it was reasonably priced. I mean, a lot of them like are in America, so they're out of my, you know. And some of them are like up in Scotland or up in wherever. And you're talking a few £100, to go. And I'm like, it's a little bit much. But I mean, I don't know how much it must be to go to that Lay Family Yards to learn how to dye. Not that I want to go, don't get me wrong, but I bet that's a few bob and all. Must be nice to have free floating money that you can do. And I'm not begging, by the way. I am not begging at all. If anybody wants to buy me a coffee, that's fine. But apart from that, no, I'm not begging. No, I'm not saying, I need a new sewing machine. I need a new... No. If I want it badly enough, I'll save up and I'll get it. Crowdfund. I wouldn't do it, Martin. Honestly, to me, that's like begging. And I just wouldn't do it. Is it expensive? Yeah, but with knitting, I wouldn't be interested anyway, Linda. But it's crochet. It's got to be crochet, hasn't it? Yeah. And I always think, I mean, I am not the best crocheter in the world, don't get me wrong, I am not. But I'm always thinking, if it was kind of like beginners, where they were teaching you how to crochet, I'd be way past that. I just want to be with not even tutorials, not even classes, just to go away with like-minded people who would sit and crochet and have a chat. That's kind of thing that I would like. People who are on my wavelength, people who I could talk crochet to and they knew what I was talking about. I don't want to go to a room full of knitters, really, because I do knit and I can knit, but it's not what I'm that into. But I would like to, I don't even particularly want to go on a one where they teach you anything, because I know I don't know a lot, and I don't say that I do. Oh, it's a fly. I thought there was something, a big crawling on the wall behind me, but it's actually a tiny fly crawling on the screen. But it looks like an enormous thing crawling on the wall behind me. I don't particularly, I don't know everything about crochet now. I'm not holding my hand up saying I'm brilliant. I'm not. There's a lot of things in crochet I don't know. But, I don't want to go to learn basic crochet because I know enough for what I want to do. Yeah, there's a lot I don't know. I'd like to know how to do properly Tunisian crochet or something like that, mosaic crochet, stuff like that. I would like to, go and have a do at, have a dabble. But just ordinary crochet, no, unless they were just chatting and it wasn't you can go and it's so much extra if you go and have this class or something like that. No, I'm not interested. So, yeah. But I don't want a knitting holiday, no, Linda. Most of the ones I've seen advertised have been knitting rather than crochet. And you think if they can afford that, are they going to be knitting snobs, Are they going to be, oh, I only knit in hand-dyed yarn, oh, I only knit in merino silk, There's me with my acrylic, knitting away in the corner. No, I can't be dealing with that. I can't be dealing with snobs, no. No, I mean, yeah, there's an awful lot I do not know. You've only got to look, haven't you, at these European crocheters, the Russian girls, and their crocheting is beyond anything I could ever do. Yeah. I'd like to go to another wool show, but I mean, it's getting there. Nobody's arranging coach trips. Nobody's arranging anything. I can't get there on my own. It's just, if somebody was hiring a minibus or something like that, I would love to go to another, local. I don't mean miles and miles away, another place, that's within striking distance. Like I used to love going to the one at Cockermouth where they don't do it anymore. Was it Yarndale? I think it was. That was brilliant. Really, really good. It was just big enough, and not too snobby. They had, yeah, you got into a pumpkin, have you? Yeah, Val, I'm going to be in a pumpkin. I'm going to be going in a minute. At least I didn't fall asleep this week. At least I didn't fall asleep. Yeah. You got to organise something, Val. We need to go somewhere. We need to go on a trip, on a road trip. We need to organise something. There's enough of us, isn't there, to organise something? Yeah. But where and what and how? Because I can't drive and I'm not no transport, so it's no good looking at me. I haven't even got a driver's license anymore, so I can't hire a car and go anywhere. So, yeah, my idea of a friend with benefits is one who has a driver's license. Yeah. Oh, yarn crew. Oh, yeah. You'll come over for that, will you? You'd have to drive, though. I'll get somebody to drive us, Lizzie, because I can't do it, yeah. Can you imagine a cruise round Britain? You'd have to have your umbrella, because it'd probably rain. Ooh, sounded like thunder. It was either thunder or somebody throwing a load of bottles in a bin. Did sound like thunder, though. We've been promised thunderstorms. All the people watching Oasis in Manchester are apparently getting drowned, and they're not allowed to take umbrellas. They can take raincoats and hoodies and stuff, but they can't take umbrellas. It's probably because they'd be obstructing people's view and poking people's eyes out, wouldn't they? So lethal weapons. They're not allowed umbrellas, yeah. Yeah, cruise would be low. I can't afford a cruise. I have to win the lottery for a cruise. It's on my bucket list. On my bucket list, I want to go on a cruise. I'd be lucky if I got the ferry across the Mersey at the moment, but yeah, we can live in hope, can't we? I love a cruise. Always wanted to go on a cruise. Mike's husband would never go on one when we could have afforded it, He didn't want to go. He said, I can't be stuck on a boat, sitting there, doing nothing all day. Bliss. When you've worked as hard as I've had all my life, sitting on a deck, watching the world go by, be bliss, yeah. I've been on holidays when I was married and we had money. I've only been on one, unless you count that spa weekend with my niece. I've only been on one holiday since I've been on my own. And that was 10, 15 years ago. The trip to my house, you wouldn't all fit in my house. It's small. I haven't even got a spare bedroom now because it's full. It's full of all the stuff out of the kitchen. If you've noticed, I've stripped everything out, Martin, ready for painting. That's why it's looking a bit sparse everywhere, because I've stripped it. Everything's in the spare room. Can't move in the spare room. I've got a knitting machine, sewing machine, desk, Kallax, Billy bookcase, doll's house. If anybody's willing to kip on the sofa and come and paint my doll's house, you're welcome, because that's the only place I've got for you to sleep, is kip on the sofa. You want to go on a train trip? I'd like that Orient Express or the one that's like in Harry Potter. Where they go across that viaduct. Is it in Scotland somewhere? Is it called the Flying Scotsman or something? It's a really posh train. It costs hundreds to get on the train. Hundreds. And you have to try and book for months and years in advance before you get. It's usually full of Americans anyway. And you have to get a ticket is just whatever. And you sleep on board these fabulous cabin things and that. Yeah. Your living room. I've got stuff in my bedroom. I've got kitchen stuff in the bedroom. You walk in my bedroom, there's like pots, pans, and that in the bedroom. The lounge isn't too bad, but the spare bedroom, you can hardly get in it. You can like open the door if you're lucky and just about creep in at the moment because it's full of the Hoover. It's got Paris in there. It's got the knitting machine in there. It's got, there'd just be about room for a cot if anybody was small enough to fit in a baby cot. Might get one of them in the middle, but that's about it. You never get a single bed in there if you tried. So I am, how can I put it, a miser when it comes to offering people to come and stay with me because I've got no room. Got no room. Nowhere. You've got a knitting machine. Yeah. I've got a brilliant one when I get it working, Martin. Brilliant one. And I've got two of those little Izzy Wizzy things. Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy. I've got a little Addy and a big Addy. I haven't got the Centro, which has got more pins. I think it's got 4 more pins, I think. I've got the Addy. But they were the only ones that were available when I bought mine. Just the Addy. It's a nice little machine. It's a good little machine, but I never use it. But I won't get rid of it. People have said to me, sell it. We'll buy it. I said, I'm not getting rid of it. I paid enough for it. I'm keeping it. I'm a bit. I paid for it. I'll keep it. One of them, yeah. But I've never managed like you do with a loom, Martin. I've never managed that. To me, it's a bit slow going, I'd rather go. But I don't have a drill, like some people do. Because mine's a bit temperamental. It can drop a stitch, straight down. Yeah. 15,000 for an overnight bed on the Flying Scots. I know it's dear. That's why the Americans do it, Chris, because we can't afford it. 15,000. Think what we could do with 15,000. How I could do the house up for 15,000. And how much wool you could buy for 15,000. Oh, I could even buy me patchwork sofa, couldn't I, with 15 grand. Get rid of the one I've got, You're air frying a mini pizza. I haven't got an air fryer. To be quite honest, I haven't got room to put an air fryer. I want an eye level grill thing, a little tabletop grill. I've got nowhere to put it. I don't know where I put it. I haven't got any tabletop. I've got a big expanse on this wall here that really I should put another kitchen cabinet on it, really, if I was. But then I'd have to get rid of the table and I'd have to get rid of my desk. But I could fit another kitchen cabinet there, which would answer my problems of storage, yeah. But pipe dreams, innit? Pipe dreams. Because I've only got a little L-shaped bit of the kitchen here. I've just got a tiny bit. People with smaller kitchens have got more cupboards. I've got 4 base cupboards and 2 top cupboards. That's all I've got. And the one under the sink, of course, obviously, you put all your cleaning stuff in the one under the sink. The one next to it's got all my pans in it. And this one's got all my baking stuff in it and my casseroles and everything like that. And this one here's got all my cereals in it, my supplies like flour and stuff like that. And the top one there's got all my tins and pantry stuff. The other one's got my bowls and my cups and my mugs and stuff. And then these top ones, which I don't know whether you can see, I can't reach. Top 2 there. I've got 2 top ones. They're too tall, I can't reach them. And I've got the 2 shelves there that are above the cooker, just little shelves that don't hold much. And in any case, everything gets greasy because it's above the cooker. So I've got no room anywhere. That's why I bought that to put stuff in. That's usually full of my cooking stuff, like, you know, my soy sauce, my whatever, the corn flour things, the icing sugar, my sultanas, raisin stuff in little glass things that go in there. Stock cubes, everything like that. So maybe I keep a bigger pantry than most people do. I don't know. But I've only really got the one cupboard there that's got my tins in, you know. Your soup and your bits and pieces, yeah. No, my daughter-in-law used to use the air fryer a lot, but I didn't like things that were in it. I used to say, you made this in the air fryer, haven't you? And she used to say, my son used to say, how do you know? I said, because you have. And they used to do the sausages in the air fryer, and I just didn't like them. I'm like, oh, you've done the sausages, do them in the oven. No, we don't want to put the oven on. I like the grill, and it's annoying me that this grill, I'm like that, trying to see if it's cooking or not. I can't see a thing. It hurts me back. So that's why I wanted an eye level, you know, a little, miniature oven and grill, aren't they? The little things. Because the oven, I put the big oven on and I'm only warming something small. So I just wish I had a, maybe I could put it, oh, I've got no plug though. I could put it on the table here, I suppose, but there's no plugs on this wall. Well, there is, but it's got the freezer and the computer, the freezer and the fridge plugged into the only plugs that are here. So there's no plug there. I'm still thinking about getting one though. Definitely getting one. It might save me money on the oven, you know. If I have to just put the small one on, you know, it maybe not use as much electric, I don't know. I've not gone into it, you know, anybody who's got one that can tell me that they're cheaper than putting the big oven on. Yeah. I mean, at the moment, it's not a problem. It's when I get the heating on as well. It's going to be a problem, isn't it? You know, when I'm trying to cut down on my costs and that. At the moment, I've got no heating on. I've had no heating on since really I moved in here. I put it on about 2-3 nights when I first moved in here because it was cold. It had been empty for 12 months. But now it's warmed up. I don't need the heating on. I just put my jumper on. I put a shawl on or something. It's not that cold in here. So, not like the other place. Oh God, the other house I was always freezing, if you remember. Always cold, freezing to death I was. But here, no. But I don't know what it's going to be like when I have to put the heating on. The bills are going to go, whoo! So this is where I have to start cutting corners, you know. So I was thinking maybe the mini oven might cut a corner for me. I'll have to think about that. Because they cost about £50 to buy them. But they might pay for themselves if you're with me, you know, in what they're saving on your bill over, say, 12 months or something, yeah. Yeah, a convection oven is kind of what I want, Chris, one that's got a grill and a mini oven. They're only little, aren't they? They're only the size of a microwave. But when you're only cooking one thing, you know, for your dinner, your casserole dish or something, one thing for myself, it might be cheaper to run. I don't know, I've not gone into it, you think. It might be just as expensive as putting the oven on, I don't know. I don't know anybody who's got one that can tell me what the compare. I mean, Linda's got one, but she doesn't use hers, you know. So I need somebody who's going to tell me a comparison between using the big oven. But I would imagine it's got to be cheaper because you're only heating up a smaller space, aren't you? Thoughts, thinks. Maybe I should drop a few hints when it's my birthday in November. But we stopped doing presents, me and my family. We just decided we're not doing them anymore. But I might because it's a big birthday. My niece might just buy me something. Amazon vouchers would be nice. I'll be saying, Ko-fi account, please, when it gets near my birthday, then I can buy me oven. Begging again, begging again. Yeah. Oh, if I was going to beg, I'd be begging for a round the world cruise. You don't want to beg for small things, do you? You don't want to beg for a sewing machine. You want to beg for something big, you know? You go to beg, do it in style. That's my opinion. You know, around the world cruise, if there's anybody on here who's won the lottery, you're just keeping it quiet, you know. I won't tell anybody it was you. Yeah? Keep it between ourselves. You've got an induction plate and an air fryer. Yeah, I don't want an air fryer, Shad. I'd rather have a grill, you know. I like to grill my bacon and grill sausages. So this is why I was thinking of one of those little mini oven things. I got offered an air fryer. I could have had one for free, but I've just got. I'd have so many things on the counter. I wouldn't have room to cut anything up, you know. I've only got a little cutting board as it is because there's no room for anything big. Oh dear. It's like being in a caravan, really. I should get one of those like butcher's blocks on wheels, something that you can wheel around. You know, some people have them, don't they? You know, so they can chop things up like, you know, they have a butcher's block that they wheel around and put it in a corner somewhere until they need it and bring it out. I mean, my table up to now has actually been full of junk. I've just cleared it off today. Found another place for my toolbox. Stuff like that, yeah. Oh, tell you. Indoor grill. I've only got to do bacon and this bloody thing above my head. It's a light and it's got a, I don't know if you can see it in it. Oh, no, it's too glowy. It's got a smoke alarm. Can you see that round thing in the middle? It's got a smoke alarm built into the light. And every time I cook bacon, I don't cook it high and I don't burn it, but it's every time I cook bacon, it drives me nuts. I open all the doors and the windows, you know, so it'll blow there. And I was standing there with a tea towel wafting, and I've even got a brush. I keep prodding it with a brush to stop it every blooming Sunday morning. I'm sure they'll love me next door. You know, Janet's cooking again, smoke alarm's going, yeah. I've tried whacking it. I whack it with the brush. I've waffed it with a tea towel like that. Open all the windows and the doors. It even the other one on the in the hall even goes off when I have a shower. Work that out. The steam. I can't open my bathroom window. It's too tall. It's above my sink, and I can't reach it without standing on something. And I'm not standing on something because I'd fall. Yeah. The thought of me falling naked is not a pretty sight, you know. So I don't bother opening the kitchen. Why they don't put a window that opens lower down, I don't know. But so I can't open the window in the bathroom to let the steam out, which is what I used to do in the other bungalow. The other window at the other bungalow opened down from the bottom outwards. The one in my lounge opens from the bottom outwards. So does the one in my bedroom. Why they can't do one in the kitchen and why they can't do one in the bathroom, I don't know. But when I get rid of these stupid blinds and I have curtains, I can reach this kitchen window. It's this stupid, crappy vertical blind stuff, you know, which are going when I get decorated. It's going. I'm putting curtains up. So then I can draw the curtain back and open the window. Yeah. I need to rent MSM. I need to rent somebody. When I say I need a man with benefits, I don't mean those kind of benefits. I mean a man who has a driver's license and a man who can paint, yeah. Hi, Lydia. Yeah, I'm just going off. You just about sneaked in there just as I'm leaving. The late Lydia, we're going to call her. Last minute Lydia. Hire a hunk. Oh, I wish I could hire a hunk. Yeah, I've got a very nice hunk. But sadly, he's not in my life. Very nice though, very tasty. Yeah. He came and did me blind. Not me blind, me curtain pole for me. But sadly, I can't persuade him to come back. My charm is not what it used to be, obviously. It's not working on him. But yeah, he was a hunk. Yes, but sadly, no. My charm doesn't work on him anymore. I don't think whether it ever did, really. I like to think it did at one time. I'm probably deluding myself, but I like to think he was my man once. And I don't mean my ex-husband, no, not him. But time goes by, water goes under the bridge. We move along, don't we? No, actually, no, because we were talking about wish list, we were talking about going on a cruise or a crochet retreat. That's what you've missed, Lydia. It's only got a little bit juicy when I'm talking about the my hunk. Well, he's not my hunk. I wish he was, but he's not. Never mind. Wishful thinking, isn't it? The kind that dreams are made of. When you fall asleep, you think, yeah. My necklace, it's a weird one, isn't it? Well, you know me and me weird. Very plasticky and very sort of weird, yeah. He didn't have tight jeans on, but you get the drift. Yes, Esther, we're having a good evening. I'm going to go now because I'm so late. I'm 1/2 the witching hour. I shall turn into a pumpkin very soon. Cinderella will need her shoes back soon, I tell you. Yeah. I've done 5 squares. You've kept me company for 5 squares. I only need 2 more to do another row. For those of you who missed it, I've sewn some of it, crocheted some of it together. That's what I've done so far. That's what it is. It's 7 across, and it's going to be 7 down when I've done it, but I've only got 5 down so far. So someday I'm going to find hard to part with this, actually, because I quite like it. But I said I was going to give it, so give it I will. But there's so many people who go, oh, I like that, oh, I like that. It's never going to get to the old people, is it? But yeah, I really like it. Much better than the pink thing I've got, yeah. Pink thing I've got. I could make myself one for myself because I've got enough wool left, but do I really want to do another one for myself? Depends how desperate I get. You never know. Come winter time, when I can't get out, you never know what I might do. Yeah, I'll do a border all around the edge of it, yeah. So the pink thing, it's that big. They'd never get it on their lap. They'd be pinned down. It's a 3-seater. It covers a 3-seater sofa. It's that big. 166 squares are in it. That's why I won't part with it, because people have begged for me to give it to them. And I'm like, no, it cost me 80 odd quid for the yarn. No way I'm giving that away, even though I hate the colour. I'm keeping it. Determined, I'm keeping it. It's not my thing at all. It's on the back of the sofa. You can't see it. It's right on the back of the sofa. Still. Anyway, people, thank you very much for keeping me company and keeping me awake. So perhaps I should have more brandy. This is it. I had 1 brandy, didn't I? And I've stayed up for a lot longer. I've still got part of it left. It settled my stomach down a treat. My stomach was a bit iff. I didn't like to say that before. I just said I was going for a wee. But my stomach was a bit off. But I'm fine now, yeah. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody and enjoy the rest of your weekend and think about me sugar soaping my paintwork. It's just arrived. It arrived too late for me to do it today. But I also might be doing something with ice cream. Chocolate fudge drizzle. Woohoo! Yeah. Oh, thank you, Martin, for your company. Thank you, Lydia, Chris, Enid, Jane. Who else have we got? Nathan. Linda, I think, is still here. Jane. Have I missed anybody? I don't know whether I've missed anybody or not. Oh, yeah, I've missed Lizzie, haven't I? Lizzie. If I've missed you, I'm very sorry. If I've missed saying good night to you all. Very sorry. But it could be, Chris. It could be. You never know. The chances of him coming back are no hope and very little. I can live in hope, though. You know, while there's hope, they say hope, you live in hope and hope dies, yeah. One of them situations, yeah. I think if I laid breadcrumbs, he wouldn't come. You've got to laugh, haven't you? You've got to stay cheerful, yeah. If I took it seriously, you know, I'd be very upset, but, you know, you got to know your limits, haven't you? One time I had the bait, but now, no bait. Right, I'm going to go now. So bye for you all, and I'm going to go and drink the rest of me brandy and coke and go to bed. Bye for now. See you all soon. And you might find I actually do a video when I finish the kitchen. Well, not me. Tell a lie, when the kitchen is finished and I've painted the door. Yeah. Okay. Bye now.